And here we are at Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex, and the fireworks are back. We're ready for some fireworks tonight. Good evening, this is Kevin O'Neill for Wildcat Productions. And with me, as always, is Coach Chris Davis. Coach Davis, how we doing?
Doing great, Coach O'Neill, and we had a great matchup here to kick off our coverage here tonight. Earlier today, the Varsity Girls Flag Football team defeated the Loyola Ramblers in overtime, 8-6. And so we had that action to lead us off here tonight, and we're excited now to transition into the tackle football game for a North Suburban Conference matchup between your Libertyville Wildcats and the Lake Zurich Bears.
So we've got the week 4 matchup, second week of conference here. And Coach, we've got a 1-2 LZ team versus a 3-0 Libertyville team. Tell us what's been going on with Libertyville last week and the season right after the band. How about that? And that was a real-life drone shot you're getting right there. Wildcat Productions literally upping the game and elevating their game and bringing it to a whole new level.
So, Coach O'Neill, as we left there before we heard the band with the national anthem, let's talk about the Cats so far this season. Cats have been flying high, Coach O'Neill, on offense, averaging about 45 points a game. We saw that week 1 opening victory with a shutout of Lamont, 43-0. Since then, the Cats have had 2 road games. They've traveled down to Oaklawn Richards, where they defeated the Bulldogs 48-15. And last week, to kick off North Suburban Conference action, the Cats went to Stevenson and defeated the Patriots 43-14 down in Lincolnshire.
Wait, hold on, Coach. It sounded like you said 43-14 over the Patriots.
You got it, Coach O'Neill. And so far this year, the Wildcats offense has been paced by Quinn Shambo, the quarterback. Quinn is 44-60 on the year, completing 73% of his passes, already over 1,000 yards passing with 17 passing touchdowns. And on the receiving end of those passing touchdowns,
those are video game numbers,
Coach. It is,
like,
Coach
those
O'Neill.
are ridiculous.
It is. And on the receiving end of those touchdowns, as the Cats here take the field, is number 4, Blaze LaVista, pacing the Cats with 6 touchdown receptions. Stephen Gavrick has 5 on the year, and Brock Williams has 4, rounded out by Sam Seth with 2. So those top 4 pass receivers there for the Wildcats done a nice job of pacing the Wildcat offense. Big hats off there to the offensive lineman up front and the running back crew as well for with that running game of getting the Cats offense up and running. And the defense, Coach O'Neill, has been flying high as well. As we talked in there, we looked in the opener, the Cats have not had an opponent score more than 2 touchdowns on them this year. I believe they're averaging just over 10 points a game given up on defense. So we're looking forward to a good one for an always tough Lake Zurich team, Coach O'Neill.
Absolutely. So that Lake Zurich team is 1-2 so far this year. They started out 0-2, got shut out by Fremd, and then had kind of a shootout with Glenbrook South, but ended up losing by 2 scores. Last week they got right again by beating up on Waukegan, won 41-12. And so this is a Lake Zurich team that traditionally we know has always been a powerhouse. They're the winningest school in the state since the year 2000. Coach Eggert described them as a proud program, that even if they don't necessarily have the horses, they're going to come out and they're going to play tough every single time. The Bears, their number 1 player is coincidentally number 1, Jackson Pigot. He's their big wide receiver. He had 1 touchdown last week and a punt return for 61 yards. And so he is their big target. He is who they like to go to. On the season, he has over 150 yards. And so he's the matchup where the Cats are going to be doing some things to get in his way and to slow him down. And they have a couple defensive plans to do just that.
Coach O'Neill, looks like we just had the scoreboard pop back up here on.
Come
so
on.
if you're just joining our broadcast here tonight, scoreboard was working a little early this afternoon. We had some issues with it. They've been working on it endlessly here for the past 90 minutes. Looks like it just kind of popped back up, so we'll see where we're at with that. So if you're following along at home, the time is going to be started out in the game, kept on the field. So the officials will have the time on the field as we work through some technical difficulties here at the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex.
So the Cats are going to kick off from the south end zone, and there's some whistles being blown. They're already trying to figure, I think they're probably trying to figure out about the clock. As we have a minute here, we'll go ahead and Coach Davis, why don't you talk about the Wildcat offense against the Lake Zurich defense?
So, Coach O'Neill, what we'll see from the offense here is we get the offensive starters, number 72, Miles Bateski up front. He's then on the left side joined by number 64, Rhett Van Boning. In the center is the center Max Frazen, number 68. At the right guard spot is number 67, Andrew Lagfeld. And at right tackle is number 58, Sawyer Kapala. Quinn Shambo is the guy behind center, or making it all go from his quarterback position. And next to him will be Steven Strelo at the running back spot. And then in the receivers, we have number 4, Blaze LaVista, number 11, Stephen Gavrick, number 1, Sam Seth, and number 13, Brock Williams.
So the kick is up. It's received at about the 2-yard line. Bears is coming out, makes it one guy miss, and then there's a host of Cats there to make the tackle. Caleb Basic is one of the first guys there, and he's an anchor on this defense also.
So, Coach O'Neill, one of the things you were talking about with Lake Zurich being a proud program, a proud tradition, is, throw the record out when it's a Wildcats or anybody, like when we get to our conference. We opened up the season with our broadcast with that non-conference game, played from a team with Lamont down in the south suburbs, but now we're back to the familiar foes and familiar territory. Both teams know each other really well. I'd expect to see some different wrinkles. Lake Zurich has always historically tried to run the ball at the Wildcats defense. It'll be interesting to see what they come out with tonight.
Oh, Cats are going to jump on the very first
Looks
play
like we're
here.
getting the false start there as a signal at the top of the screen, Coach O'Neill.
Oh, outstanding, even better. So the quarterback for the Bears is Cole Kenyon. And so Cole Kenyon is back there. He'll be leading the Cats offense, leading the Bear offense. The Bear offense, they've been running the same offense and defense, Coach, since you were just a pup. They've been running that.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that Bear defense, Coach O'Neill, because like you said, that has been one from there. Maybe a little movement back there again.
That was number 3, penalty. John Howe, who's one of their big running backs. He carries a lot of the load. Another false start.
So now as we back things up here, Coach O'Neill, I don't think that really changes much here for the Bears as they're coming out from that. Like we said, historically, Lake Zurich has tried to run the ball at the Cats defense and then uses that pass off of that, even dating back to when Jack Moses was back at quarterback in 2019. We can go on and on back down through the litany of great Lake Zurich players that we've seen throughout the year.
So a 1st and 20 now from about their 5. The handoff is once again to number 3. He's going to pound forward for a few here.
And that's where Coach O'Neill, those pre-snap penalties will really put the Bears here behind the chains as they try to look to establish that running game here against that Cats 3-4 defense. And Coach O'Neill, talk to us a little bit about that Cats defense.
Cat defense has been absolutely lights out this season. It's anchored by that linebacking core. We've got we can take a look at the defensive starters here coming up. Coach Budge was nice enough to share some defensive keys to the game for us, and it really has to do with the D-line. So we'll take a look at these defensive starters who are out here. And so it's a 2nd down and 15 to go. Play action pass, looking deep, looking across the middle, and there's that Cat defense just absolutely smothering and wanted an interference call. They were just running. The ref kind of got in the play a little bit there too. That's number 12. That's Tommy Bunick on the coverage. I know I'm not necessarily objective, Coach, but I don't think that was even a non-call.
Yeah, I was going to say right there, Coach, it looks like they just kind of got tripped up back there in the legs. Good non-call there for the the Cats, as we see, as it puts the Bears into a 3rd and long.
And that's not their comfort zone. They don't want to be. I mean, they'll take it. They'll take shots downfield. But even Coach Budge's defensive report talked about how they are going to run, and that is their forte, and they just use the pass to kind of loosen things up a little bit.
Yep, so that'll bring up a 3rd and long here for the Bears from their own 13-yard line.
Kenyon is back, got one back in there. Running a little a little out route to number 1.
And
That's
it's an
Jackson
interesting
Piggott.
spot there. It's a nice job getting the ball down there. It looks like they're going to be just short. Bring up a 4th and short. It's decision time here for the Bears. It'll be interesting to see kind of where they fall. It looks like the punt team's taking the field.
It looked like it was a lot closer to the line, to the first down line, and then when they actually spotted it, it looks like they're short about 3.
I know we got some great shots we had some great shots, Coach O'Neill, in the flag football game. We'll continue to have some great shots from Wildcat Productions tonight here in the tackle game. But unfortunately, we don't get to take advantage of those like you would on like a Thursday night football broadcast and put the challenge flag out to kind of help with some of those rules.
Well, and I think it's easy to forget, those of you watching at home, like this is a high school production. Like you're seeing every shot that you get on Saturday and Sunday, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it on your screen. Right now on a Thursday night. These kids are pros. So a little confusion with personnel there for the Bears, but they're back to punt. Slow snap, picked up off the turf. Still
nice
gets off a heck of a nice kick. That is going to be Blaze LaVista who gets it. Sammy Seth throws one block. Blaze tries to outrun, makes one guy miss, makes a second miss, runs out of field, but not before he crosses the 40 to about the 42.
And Coach O'Neill, as we have a second here, as the Cats offense comes out back on the field. You know, this is one of the things as we look here for that explosive Cats offense with the passing attack. The passing attack really is what the straw that stirs the drink here for the Wildcats, with Shambo distributing the ball to his host of wide receivers, getting excellent protection so far this year from his offensive line up front. It's really been fun to watch the Cats here. We'll see as they come out here with to start the game.
Coach, did you see what Coach Shack said are the offensive keys to the game? By the way, he makes you, when you gave offensive keys, he makes you look creative and verbose.
So here we go. We'll get to these after this first play here to open things up here for the Cats.
Shambo taking the snap. The give is to Strelo up the middle. He moves off to his left, pounds forward for about 3.
So the offensive keys of the game for the Cats, as we look at those as the Cats get going here to bring up 2nd and 7, the first key is to stay on the beach and be in control of our emotions to how we play the game. I know from talking with the coaches, it's those pre-snap penalties and being in control of yourself that the Cats are still working on as we get working through here through this game. We also look at that second key to the game is being to protect the football, as it looks like we have a little stoppage play here. But is to protect the football and not turn the ball back over. The Cats done a great job with that so far this year, Coach O'Neill, of really not allowing opposition to get a short field, and done a nice job of that by maintaining drives. And the third one, like I talked about earlier, is just eliminating those penalties, especially those pre-snap penalties, those 5-yard penalties that we saw Lake Zurich maybe encounter on that first drive. That's a big point of emphasis here for the Cats.
So we've got Cats spread out, Sammy Seth in motion. The fake is to Strelo. The toss is to LaVista, and he's going to get out, be about a yard short. Nice tackle. Oh, number 7 is down. That is Connor Soule, it looks like. There was a big collision in there.
Yep, and that's Coach O'Neill. As we look at the Lake Zurich defense, what you're going to see from Lake Zurich is kind of some folks refer to it as like a 3-free defense or a stack defense. And it was actually, this is one of the things that has been the hallmark of the Lake Zurich defense from way back when Coach Profit was the defensive coordinator, all the way back into the early 2000s. You talk about that success they've had as a program, a very proud program with numerous state finals appearances over the past 20 years. And that stack, that 3-3 defense has been a hallmark for them. And it really starts for them with the guy in the center. I know we had for about, it seemed like, for 6 years or so, there was always a Sanborn in the middle of the center field, and you'll see him on Sundays, the older Sanborn, Jack Sanborn, at the Sam linebacker position for the Chicago Bears on Sundays, coming from the University of Wisconsin, and that's been one of the hallmarks. It starts there. You know, the whole defense revolves around allowing that position to kind of run around and kind of clean up for everything up. Up front, they really try to be disruptive and try to get into and take the 3 guys up front and really disrupt what's going on with your offensive line, and then to allow those linebackers to run around and make plays.
Yeah, I mean, they've been running that same defense since I was in high school. As we get a look at our defensive starters here, you have RVB on the D-line for us. You have Chris Samaras, don't say that P, on the D-line. Everett Kendall getting some time starting on the D-line. Those guys have a big push to do tonight. Caleb Basic is anchoring the linebacker core along with Dylan Doherty. These are the linebackers that Coach Ori told me is the best linebacking crew he's seen here at LHS. Then you've got Eric Waldorf, who is every bit as big as he looks in that picture. And then Jack Trudelar. They are just a beastly core. In your defensive backfield, or excuse me, another linebacker. How can I forget about Clarkson? And so then we have Strader, LaVista, and Tommy Bunick. There's a lot going on down here, Coach. So it's 3rd and a long 2. Strelo in the backfield. The give is to Strelo, and he's going to get it and break to the second level. Man, he accelerates quick. He's not the fastest kid, but he has quick acceleration and hits that hole hard.
As we get a replay here, there's a nice job by the guys up front of getting picked up with the penetration there in the blitz from Lake Zurich to allow Steven to go through. Cats get up to the line of scrimmage here.
So quick, right back. Fake to Strelo, toss that out to Sammy Seth. Or no, I'm sorry, that's LaVista. It's easy to get him confused, Coach, you know. LaVista's going to pick up another 8 real quick. And, man, using that no huddle effectively and changing the tempo. The Bears didn't have a chance to get any defenders on.
So here we go, 2nd and 2 here for the Cats.
LaVista scanning the field. There's that backer coming up. Good pick up on the blitz. Shambo has plenty of time. Why are we blowing the whistle in the middle of a play? Would be really interested to see what's happening here. So Cats did a really nice job of picking up that blitz. There was almost no penetration. Shambo was rolling out to his left.
And that's been Coach O'Neill.
We're on offense.
So it looks like here, we had a little confusion back there on the sidelines. Looks like we'll give that a go.
I think, you know what, I
again.
think the block still said first down, and they were trying to get that straightened out.
There you go.
I feel like that's something we could have done after the play had followed through.
So it still goes back to 2nd and 2 here for the Cats.
So you run the same play, Coach? Oh, there's a flag. Oh, we got a lineman. Lineman got a little too hungry and ended up going downfield, I think, Coach.
Yeah, or Coach O'Neill, it looks like it's in the play for holding. Normally you don't get the lineman downfield call unless the ball is released for that forward pass, since that's a run with the scramble.
Oh, good call. My bad. I just saw the lineman.
I'm always protective of the offensive line, Coach
absolutely.
O'Neill. Always protective
As
of the
well
big
you
guys
should
up
be.
front. So, Coach O'Neill, while we have a little break in the action, we have a big day tomorrow in LHS Athletics as we are hosting at Adler Park the Dorch Carlson Invite. So the boys and girls cross-country team will be running at home tomorrow at Adler Park. The boys team were the team champions this past weekend at the Wakanda Invitational. And they also won the NSC Quad that we hosted this past Tuesday.
And they all hate the hill at Adler.
The girls cross-country team competed in the finish invite at Detweiler Park last week.
Seth in motion, Shambo back. Ball is tipped, still completed to Brock. Brock moves, oh no, ball is out. Fumble, but real quick to pounce on that. I believe that's Sammy Seth who made that heads-up play. Brock got popped. It looked like the helmet hit right on the ball.
And that was a nice job there by Sam of not trying to pick the ball up, of just diving right on it, keeping possession for the Cats here and getting it to a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, after that penalty, after that hold, so now it's 3rd and about 3. Fake to Strelo, toss out to Sammy. He's got to beat one guy. He gets forward a little bit. I think he's going to be short. I think the Cats are going to go for this, don't you?
I do too, Coach O'Neill. And that's one of the things here, too, as we look at that Lake Zurich defense, is one of the things, again, that we talked about the 3-3 stack being kind of fundamental for Lake Zurich here and also being very fundamentally sound. That is, as we get into our conference play, a lot of our conference schools are very fundamentally sound. You're going to see, I would venture to guess, that the Bears are going to stay in this too-high look for a good chunk of the game here with a pass.
Oh!
Sorry, thought we were going to get a little bit of flag there.
Thought that was
with Quinn
encroachment
with the hard count. And so that's one of the things we venture to guess we're going to see a lot here from the Bears is this kind of too-high safety look.
So Quinn takes snap, fake to Strelo. He's looking across, so he's getting a little bit of pressure. Nice job getting back in front and wide open. Oh, jeez. wide open with Stephen Gavrick. And he was so wide open, he bobbled that ball. He almost didn't know what to do with himself.
That was a good job there. Quinn had a little bit of pressure back there in the backfield. Good job of getting out to his right and finding his receiver back downfield with Steve Gavrick.
Love seeing the lineman get around in front of that pursuing defender, too. Didn't get a block in the black, didn't get a hold. So now the Cats are in striking distance here. 1st and goal. That ball is complete and just short. Oh, touchdown. It is. He was making sure he got it. So that is Blaze LaVista with what, his 31st touchdown of the year, Coach?
That's what it sure seems like, Coach O'Neill. And I think, that will be something the Cats look at tonight. If that's going to be one-on-one back over there with Blaze and the DB, I think that's a matchup the Cats will take advantage of quite often tonight.
There's not many defensive backs in our conference that could keep up with Blaze himself.
And that's one of the things, too, Coach O'Neill, as we saw right there, is it takes a lot. We talked about this in the first broadcast as the Cats line up here to kick with the extra point, is that it takes a lot to cover all 4 of the skill positions that the Cats have for an extended period of time down the field.
Yeah. So Ben Ratner for the point after. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So nice job there by the Cats. Nice drive by the Cats to go up second. Oh, look at great shot of the scoreboard there now that it's working again. I mean, folks, I just want you to know it was not working 3 minutes before game time. Like, there was nothing on there. So hats off. Did you say his name was Johnny? Jimmy?
Yes, sir. Yep, you got it. Yeah. Thanks for our company to be able to come on out and get that scored away for us here tonight. So, Coach O'Neill, while we got another break in the action, we'll get to some more results from all of our LHS athletic teams. As we were talking about our cross-country teams hosting their invite tomorrow. It feels like next week. And then we want to give a big shout out to our girls swimming and diving team. They've defeated Lake Forest so far and Vernon Hills in the dual meet season and finished 3rd place out of 11 teams at the Glenbrook North Sprint Classic this past weekend. The Cats welcome to LHS the Stevenson Patriots this Thursday, September 26th for an NSC dual meet. So if you have some free time on Thursday, come on out, come to the natatorium to see our gorgeous new pool so you get a chance to watch our Cats in action for girls swimming and diving.
So Blaze LaVista, he is one of the Cats' most potent weapons, and he is quickly emerging as one of the most potent weapons in the state. And so any defense is going to have to try and get a handle and figure out how they are going to guard him. As the Cats are set to kick off now. So this looks like it is Ratner again to do the kickoff. And he's going to pop that. That's going to be towards the sideline, right at about the 20. The ball's bobbled and down. And so that is...
So, Coach O'Neill, it's been a hot second since we've been on a broadcast. The Cats been on the road for 2 weeks. And now after watching some NFL football, the big change in the NFL this year is the new kickoff rules. Do you think that's coming to the high school game anytime soon?
I mean, it's just a matter of time before it filters to college and then to high school. I mean, that's the logical one. Oh, so here's the matchup that we're looking at. The big receiver for the Bears is Piggott, and then we'll see what LaVista does tonight. Already with 1 touchdown. The give inside, and he's going to pick up about 4.
That's a nice job by the Cats defense there. It looked like a 23 Caleb Basic coming in on the tackle, and that also looked like number 42 Harrison Clarkson as well in there from those linebacker positions.
So Coach Jones gave a nice shout out to one of the new defensive backs, one of the new starting defensive backs. Newbie said that he's just been doing a really nice job and really been stepping up for the Cats and locking down some people at that corner. So Cole back to pass. Cole Kenyon back to pass. He's getting chased around. Ball's complete to number 13. That's Nikolai Obuloff.
Ball came out there at the end, and it looked like they already ruled it down, so it'll be first down for the Bears there. And we've seen the Bears now try to move the pocket and really look to kind of hit to those, curl that little cut route there on the outside of the field.
I think they know how, I mean, like you said, these teams know each other. These teams know each other like the back of their hand. And so they're trying to force Coach Budge to keep those linebackers, not letting them blitz, not letting them roam free, keep stretching the field laterally.
You know, and Coach O'Neill, as it's 1st and 10 here for the Bears, one of the things I think will be interesting to see is if Lake Zurich is able to sustain drives here with the running game to keep the Cats offense out the field.
Right.
I think it's going to be a tall task for them if it is able to get to meet the Cats to go score for score up and down the field.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Right now, the Bears' best the Bears' best defense is their offense being on the field.
So this will make it 2nd and 10 here for the Bears.
We're at about halfway through the first quarter here.
There's a shot at number 24, Eric Waldorf, from his linebacking position. Get a kind of a look at Mason Strader lined up back there from his safety spot.
Yeah, we might see Waldorf run a little offense today, Coach. There's a package. So Kenyon takes the snap. The give is to number 3. That is John Howe, once again, one of their leading running backs. The refs are stopping the clock again here. Howe is their big running back. Coach Budge's scouting report said he is the guy who carries the load for them. He is the guy that really stirs the drink for this offense. But see, like you said, a couple nice completions here.
It is. It'll be interesting to see here what we've got. Is this a procedure penalty? Looks like the Bears are backing up for maybe a legal formation.
One of the things Coach Ori talked to me about today is how important discipline is to this team, that they're really trying to stay focused and really trying to stay disciplined. And not saying that that's not a focus of the Bears, but 3 penalties deep in your own territory already in the first quarter, sometimes that comes from a little lack of focus there, lack of discipline. So Kenyon is back. He's going to drop back, straight back. He's putting the ball up along the sideline to the big receiver, number 1, Pigot. Oh, and there's a flag coming in. Looks like that's going to be a pass interference call. Go ahead, Coach.
No, sorry, Coach. I know that was one of the things we're trying not to talk over each other tonight. A little bit from there as we get the call, wait for the call back here out in the field. So that'll be one of the things to look at here as we see the signal here for pass interference against the Cats. So like as we were talking about earlier in the flag football game, in high school football, it's a 15-yard penalty. We'll see if that's enough. I think they're moving the chains. I think it looked like it was like 2nd and 14,
yeah.
2nd and 13, but it's not an automatic first down. I know pass interference gets adjudicated just a little bit differently throughout each level
levels of football.
I know I'm so used to, I've been in rule mode, I think, Coach O'Neill, as we try to provide the viewers at home some background for that flag football game, because some of the rules are a little bit different than if that's your first time watching flag football when you joined us earlier this evening.
All right, Kenyon in the gun, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. The pull, nice pull there. And then a good open field tackle by Tommy Bunick. Kenyon pulled that ball. That was the best I've seen him do as far as a give, and then pulled that out. The Cats crashed on him.
And that's one of the things I think, Coach O'Neill, that as we talk about like some of those wrinkles. I know back in 2019 when Jack Moses was the quarterback for Lake Zurich, the quarterback room was a huge part of it. Since then, maybe hasn't been as big of the package for them. So that's call. You know, as we look at like some of those wrinkles that teams bring back out for each other, there's the Cats key in to try to stop that run game, maybe make the Bears a little more one-dimensional. Be interesting to see that little bit of chess match tonight.
Yeah. So clock is still moving here as we're down under 5 minutes in the first quarter. Cats up 6-0. The give this time is up the middle to Howe, and he's going to fall forward for 4.
Flag here, but that's in the zone of holding, Coach O'Neill, so I think that one will be coming back.
I mean, this is the first quarter, and that's their 4th flag. If that is indeed holding, it's hard. Yeah. That's a hard hole to dig yourself out of.
It is. And Coach O'Neill, you know, we were talking about it earlier tonight, but that flag football team kicked us off in great, dramatic fashion.
That was a fun undercard
with
right there.
With Beliark on, what was that, Coach O'Neill? Probably like a 40-yard touchdown pass with under 1 minute left for the Cats to go ahead and tie the game up against Loyola. The Cats then went to overtime, and it was Williamson to Yark again for the 2-point score in that overtime period to make it a victory there for the Cats.
It was awesome. So the Bears are now setting up first and 20 from just about the 50. Kenyon takes the snap. The give is underneath to Howe. He's going to pound forward for, let's call it a good 5 yards.
And that's one of the things, Coach O'Neill, as we were talking about earlier, you know, as this clock goes down to under 4 minutes here in the first quarter, that's one, like as we mentioned before, one of the best things the Bears can do offensively is to keep the Wildcats offense off the field. So while it might seem like, you know, 1st and 20 going out, starting here with a run. They get 5 yards back out, make it second and manageable. Be interested to see, too, depending on what happens in the next play or two, if the Bears find themselves into kind of a fourth down area to try to keep pace with the Cats.
So they've got their big receiver solo down here at the bottom of your screen, and they're going to look for him right away. Tommy Budick with a very sure tackle. Nicely done. And then that is Bodie Rohrback, who came in to help clean that up. He's a load. I do not know how to say his name, so I apologize.
It's Jackson Piggott, Coach O'Neill.
Piggott is how you say it?
Yep, I know he had an older brother on that 2019 team that we were talking about there, where the last time Lake Zurich kind of had that running quarterback position. So.
I didn't notice how to say his name either when we did his game. But still, that now puts up a 3rd and 8 because of that nice tackle by Tommy Budick.
All right, so here we go. Student section starting to get riled up here a little bit for the Cats.
Kenyon takes the snap. They're looking. Uh-oh, he's got his man. Ooh, there we go. It's complete. I think he was across the line to gain. Complete in the middle.
They're going to call forward progress. Oh, let's see.
That spot.
Wow. Woo.
That's not a great spot.
We'll take it for
Coach.
Coach O'Neill, we talk all the time that this is a homer broadcast.
That's
so
true.
We'll take that one. I don't necessarily, again, if we had those cameras or that red challenge flag, that might look a little different right now, but we're going to take it. Make it 4th down and 2. Interested to see what the Bears do here. Looks like they're keeping the offense on the field.
To paraphrase Coach Eggert, this isn't the Bears production. This is Wildcat production.
You got it, Coach O'Neill.
All right. So, nice job there, too. I believe it was Tommy Budick was going stride for stride with Piggott to make sure that he was not the target that I'm sure Kenyon would like him to be. Coach Platt's taking a timeout here. He knows he doesn't get to challenge the spot, right?
He does, Coach O'Neill. And this is where, as we talked about here with about 2 minutes left back on the clock, it's 7-0 Cats as we get coming. Even though I had that comment earlier about it, but if you're sitting home watching at the broadcast and, you're like, hey, I think I can do a good job with that with the officials. That's fantastic. The IHSA is always looking for individuals who want to join the rank of the officials. So please reach out to the LHS Athletic Department if you are interested in becoming an IHSA official.
So we'll take a look here at Piggott, at Jackson Piggott. He is their big receiver. And we also have Blaze LaVista there. And so we can see how their numbers match up here. LaVista, like we said, those are video game numbers themselves. 12 catches, 9 touchdowns. It's going to be hard for anybody to match up against his.
That's where last week against the Patriots, Blaze had 2 90-yard touchdown passes from the shadow of the Cats' end zone, and that's just backbreaking for a defense to kind of get the Cats pinned back up and then be able to give up those big plays.
Yep. So nice job there by Wildcat Productions. Thank you for bringing us that graphic. So it is 4th and about a long yard. Kenyon takes the snap. He's looking to his left. He's got a receiver open, but that ball is underthrown. And that's where I think you see, we get so spoiled watching Shambo, and he can make every throw on the field. He can put that ball wherever you want. Kenyon had to throw that ball almost 18 yards just to gain 2.
And I think that was one of those, Coach O'Neill, he did have the receiver open there to the top of the screen where you see that one and you know that is one that you're looking to get completed right there for that pitch and catch that sometimes, those what is easy to do is also easy not to do.
Yep.
And those are the ones that sometimes get away from you there.
So Cat's offense will take over here. Shambo ready to take the snap. LaVista in motion, solo to his right. Nice grab there on the snap. Shambo scrambles, dips it off. Oh, that ball was intercepted. It went off the hands of the Wildcat. Sammy couldn't bring it in, and somehow the Bears receiver was just able to wrangle that in.
That's good concentration there from the Lake Zurich.
That was
number
a
3,
heck
John
of a
Hope,
catch.
because that was one that just kind of popped right up. We did a nice job of reeling it in. It's just kind of an unlucky break there for the Cats.
Yeah.
But Coach Neal, that Cats defense has really answered the bell all year. I wouldn't expect any different from Coach Budge and the defensive unit right now
for sure
to kind of get rolled in. So it'll be interesting, Coach Neal, as the Bears defense takes the ball back of the field. Saw Lake Zurich have a lot of success using the pass game, coming off that run game. It'd be interesting to see what Lake Zurich comes back out of after that short time on the sideline.
Yeah, it'd be curious if they're going to keep on mixing it up like that, because they haven't had a ton of success with the run, but we know that's their bread and butter, so you really have to decide what you're going to do. Piggott spread way out down here to the right. The give is underneath to number 2 this time.
Ooh, nice tackle.
Peroni.
That looked like number 42, Harrison Clarkson, with the tackle.
Whew, he brings it, Coach.
That was a nice tackle there by Clarkson, because if he doesn't make that tackle, there's a little room back there to run. Nice job from that linebacking core for the Cats. So as we look here at second down, Coach O'Neill, what do you think? Do you think we're getting back into 4-down territory again for the Bears?
I mean, I think they feel they have to score every possession they're in plus territory, right? They know they can't win a shootout here. Kenyon taking the snap. The give is underneath. Boy, they have a couple nice backs. That's Peroni again. I think our linebacking core is just, our D-line is doing enough to swallow up their O-line, and then our linebackers can roam free, and they've got some space.
Right, and with that call, I think we're looking at 4-down territory here for Lake Zurich, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's that way the whole night. And the reason we bring it up in the broadcast is because going against the Cats offense, it does change the strategy. It does make that look, because of how potent the Cats are offensively, and makes you more aware, your other side of the ball, about keeping the Cats offense out the field, and maybe taking more of those advantages than you would used to.
Right. So probably, like you said, looking at this, don't need to get all 7 here on this one play. Although they're going up over the top, Piggott got behind our defender, but that ball just out of his reach. LaVista on the coverage there, fell just a little behind.
He did, and that was a missed opportunity there for Lake Zurich, because it looks like they're going to bring the punt team back out here on the field.
Well, of course, because we talked about them going for it.
There's a nice shot there in the student section, Coach O'Neill, from the Cats. So it's a big crowd tonight here. It's been a big crowd all night tonight at the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex. Had a lot of stuff going on. Senior night for flag football, senior night for tackle football, cheer, dance, a lot of stuff going on tonight. It's been an awesome night here so far. Not to say we haven't had our technical difficulties, like you said, got that scoreboard up and running. Just now been working on that for a couple hours, so thanks to all the folks who made that happen. And there's the punt away for the Bears.
Nice punt, LaVista back to receive. Punt goes down, rolls out at the 5-yard line. What a beautiful punt that was.
So, Coach O'Neill, we were just talking about when we had that matchup graphic up, that last week the Cats found themselves in this position, 2 90-plus yard touchdown passes. So, this is something, too, that if you're Lake Zurich, you obviously have watched that in your scouting and your prep. And, again, I think it's going to take a lot to get Lake Zurich out of that too high safety look. Kind of a lot, like for folks that watch football on Sundays, seen that a lot in the NFL this year, of the safeties way back. Offense is down a little bit so far. It's been kind of a defensive trend across the league a little bit about that too high safety look. We'll see what Lake Zurich does here about what they do to kind of combat that Cats passing attack.
And just that 3-3 stack is so, you really have to make sure you're paying attention to it and know who's coming and who's not.
And that's what as you see here with the motion here, Coach O'Neill.
Seth in motion, and then the dump off to Brock Williams. And that's just, who do you guard?
Right.
You have to guard LaVista going 90 yards downfield, and if you put a guy on him, then all of a sudden your tight end is matched up with a linebacker who can't possibly keep up with him.
And that's one of the things that you'll notice here position-wise, number 4 for Lake Zurich, Copeland Odegaard, as that is the end of the first half. Is that position first quarter half? Oh, it's kind of all going together right now.
We've been doing football for a couple hours already.
So at the end of one, it is 7-0 Cats. But that's one of those, from that position from Lake Zurich, that's kind of that spot that kind of is like a hybrid spot, gets to kind of go all over based on what you're going to do, run, pass, kind of move to different spots. It'll be interesting, again, to see the chess match in that matchup. Yeah,
the one thing that Coach Ori said today is they really feel like they can exploit the middle of this defense. Formationally, they know when you set up your formation against this Lake Zurich defense, because we know exactly what it is. You know where they're going to go. You can almost dictate what they are going to do defensively by your formation. I'm sure you remember the same thing when you were calling the offense. And so they know that there's going to be the spots, and he thinks we're going to be seeing number 13. We're going to be seeing a lot of Brock Williams because that middle is going to be open for them.
As we look around, Coach O'Neill, for some more action across LHS athletics, the boys soccer team had a big 2-1 victory last night against the Mundelein Mustangs, down to 176 in Mundelein. The Cats have improved to 4-1-4 on the year. They had Tuesday here at home against Lake Zurich. They've finished in a 1-1 draw. Up next for the Cats are 3 kind of home games in a row. We host the NSC foes Waukegan and Zion Benton during the week, and then we have a rescheduled game with Streamwood on Saturday at home here at the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex.
So Cats are second and short here after that completion to Williams. And this is where that quick strike can really come to hurt. So the Cats drop Shambo back, he's scrambling. Oh, flag is down, and Quinn is brought down. I have a feeling that's probably a hold based on the play and where that was.
And after the result here of the play, it looks like that might be declined.
Declined, I would assume. Because that would set up, it'd be 2nd and 15, or you take 3rd and 8, or whatever it is.
And that's the thing, you know, Coach O'Neill, that is a challenge for every defense going up against the Cats. Is right now you would think that you're in the, but like in the spot where you're behind the sticks. That's not the case here with the Cats offense. They have the opportunity for that big play potential where they can take that quick throw and take it 90 yards at the blink of an eye.
Right. We're right on our goal line, it looks like.
No,
on the 5. Sorry, on the 5. Getting the call in. So, right, the full playbook is open here. That's the thing for the Cats. That's why it's so hard for Lake Zurich to defend this. Sammy in motion. Quinn's looking back. He's got time. Bears only rushing 3. Quinn's going to take off. He's got it out to the 10. He's got it out to the 12. Dances forward, and I think he got enough for the first down.
Looks like it. You know, that's a big part back over there. The Cats. Lake Zurich's done a good job tonight of keeping their rush lanes and not letting Quinn do that with the scramble. We've seen him take advantage of that with his legs before. Of where teams want to drop back out, go all the way back with those receivers. Quinn's able to take off, find a lane. Nice protection by the guys up front.
So snap is back. Give is to Strelo. He dances his way through the hole. It takes 2 guys to bring him down. I mean, he's. Oh no, that was Strelo. Yeah. He is just as tough as a $2 steak, Coach. I mean, I love watching him run. He just lowers the pad level and he brings it.
Nice job there by the big mules up front, clearing the way there. Steven, nice job of running north and south, like you said, Coach O'Neill.
Yeah. Fake is to Strelo. Shambo's looking. He's got a man deep. He's got La Vista. And that is right in the breadbasket. Nice tackle coming downfield. But man, oh man, that is almost unfair, Coach.
It is, and it's hard, like we said, Coach O'Neill, even there with 2 people in the trail position, hard to keep up with plays there. Quinn did a nice job of sticking in there. Great protection from the line up front, about putting that ball right on the money for him, right in stride.
And just, I mean, like the practice that takes to know where that ball is going and get that up there, man, that is impressive. And just like that, wasn't it 3rd and 10
and that's
from
where we're talking
5?
About Coach O'Neill. Like I said, you know, it was a little surprised to see Lake Zurich maybe go for that punt there to get started.
Shambo with lots of time. The Mule's giving him all the time in the world. And that is a touchdown. That is to Brock Williams. I mean, you sit. Oh, and then there's flags. Something happened in the back by where the ball was thrown. There's some Lake Zurich kids in the neighborhood.
Like it might be after the flag.
Yeah, it's for sure after the play. So touchdown's going to be fine. Touchdown is Shambo to Williams.
So it looks like the officials coming over here talking to Coach Jones to see what's going to happen here when it comes back with the flag as they talk to both sides.
We'll see what the call is here. Unsportsmanlike. Touchdown is good. So it must have been some celebration afterwards. Somebody said something. Mr. Cameron Hatton checking in with us tonight. Thanks for watching the broadcast. Appreciate that. Hope you had something better to eat tonight than a $2 steak, but I'm glad you liked the call. So the Cats have come. Cats aren't even going into muddle right now. They're just saying, we're going to kick it. We're going to have Ratner go ahead and kick this ball. So if that is unsportsmanlike, that's assessed after. Oh, no, it looks like it's being assessed right here on the PAT.
I think you have your opportunity, Coach O'Neill, if I'm not mistaken, where you want to take it.
Oh, do you?
I could be wrong.
I don't remember that.
So while we have a little bit break in the action here, Coach O'Neill, the Ecos Club here at LHS invites you to their annual fall native plant sale here at Libertyville High School on Wednesday, September 25th from 4:30 to 8.
So Ratner for the long extra point here. Trevor Wallace is the holder. He's the backup quarterback. Hold is down, kick is up, and it is, oh, no good, just right. Had the leg, but just a little wide right.
All right, so Coach O'Neill, like we saw, talked about it before, getting the Cats backed up, that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot of nothing, really, with the way they able. And that was with the legs of Shambo, not necessarily with the pass set up. The big pass play then from Quinn to Blaze to get down in the scoring zone. And then the Mules giving Quinn all day.
All day.
That offensive line up front all day to be able to search around, try to, and then find Brock Williams at the back of the end zone. So that's one right there, Coach. Like we talked about, it's kind of like pick your poison. Do you want to rush and bring the pressure, not let Quinton back there and do that, or you want to try to drop everybody out and cover? And it's kind of like you got to make a decision and see where to go from there.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see, too, Coach Ory talked about really wanting to establish the run because they want, not just in this game, but they want to show opponents like you have to respect that run. They've got Strelo, they've got Dixon. When he comes back healthy, they've got some runners, and they want to make sure people know, like, you can't just cover these guys. And then same thing with Shambo, like you were just saying, like, you've got to keep somebody home. You can't just sell out in the backfield like that.
And so as we get going here with about 10 minutes left, the interesting thing, Coach O'Neill, as we approach halftime, as we get going in here into the second quarter, is going to be the Cats are going to get the ball, too, to start the second half. So as we look forward here, like with Lake Zurich, like you said, don't want to get in a shootout with the Wildcats, about trying to keep pace because as we get here to the end, get the opportunity for the Cats to maybe get that extra possession with that coming back out after halftime.
So Ratner will again get to kick off. His kickoffs have been going to about the 15 from this hash here. Kickoff team ready to go. Still one of my favorite plays in football. They're putting that a little shallow here to the 20. That's a dangerous spot for a kick return team. Oh, and a nice tackle there. Wrapped up right away. Number 44 was there. Gimbert was there. I think the first one was number 81, though, was Joey Chulo.
That was a great kick there by Ratner, Coach O'Neill, about getting that right to a perfect spot, allowed the coverage to come on. I know Coach Schrader and the special teams would be very happy with that one. That was an excellent execution there.
So do they have an excellent return game that we're trying to avoid, or what's the
we saw number one Pickett back there for Coach O'Neill, and we know that he's the number one offensive weapon for the Bears. I think, as anything like that seems to be where the target is. You see him lined up here at the bottom of the screen in the 3-by-1 set. And just like clockwork, that's where they're going to go.
There he goes right back to him. But again, you know what? I think if you talk to Coach Budge, if you would have said that in the beginning of the second quarter, Pickett had about 3 catches for about 25 yards, is he okay with that?
I think so.
I think he's going to be fine.
And that's where, too, we've seen, like, we talked at the beginning of the game about Lake Zurich. They're throwing a little bit more of the ball now, more than maybe what we thought coming into the broadcast. Right. We're looking at those wrinkles in between the two teams about maybe getting the Bears out of something that more we're familiar with than with the run game.
So Kenyon is taking a look. He's got 2 receivers out to his right. Piggott is solo to his left on the short side of the field. Snap is there. Give is to number 2. It's to Peroni. He's going to pound forward for about 3.
That's a nice job there by the Cats defense to get it and muddle up. You can see, let's see if we can get some numbers coming in there. That looked like number 52, Everett Kendall, on there. Number 77, Aiden Lewandowski, as well, the defensive lineman up front for the Cats. Nice job there by the Cats defense to force second and long. Coach O'Neill, do you have any scores from across the NSC?
I'm looking right now. I'm not finding any. It's, fewer and fewer local reporters are able to get to games, so it's hard to get a lot of updates. Ooh, a little counter there, a little fake pass counter. Had a lot of room to run there. That's Peroni again. Boy, he's a tough little runner there.
And Coach O'Neill, that's one of the things too that is, nice play design there by Lake Zurich. Hats off to them. Kind of an old wing T style with that kind of like delayed handoff, kind of wind back off the sprint. We have a Cat player down. He's being attended to by our training staff. So, Coach O'Neill, while we got a break in the action, the girls golf team improved their record to 9-1.
They're destroying people,
with a senior day victory over Mundelein on Wednesday. The Cats are back in action in the North Suburban Conference Championship. It's to get into that time of the golf season, Coach O'Neill, where that season has come back in. They're going to the North Suburban Conference Championship at Countryside Golf Course on Wednesday. And also on Wednesday, the boys golf team will be competing in their North Suburban Conference Championship. We are actually, as LHS, the host for that this year. So both golf teams will be competing for the North Suburban Conference crown on Wednesday. So good luck to Coach Wall, Coach Peterson, and all of our golfers.
It's Mason Strader coming off the field, dinged up a little bit there. Trainers are attending to him. So it's 1st and 10 after that run by Peroni for the Bears. Looks like we got Basic coming on a blitz. Ball is going to be just barely missed there. Attempt was for number 12, Nordstrom.
And that's one of the things, Coach O'Neill, it seems like the Bears' passing attack is just a little bit out of sync when they kind of need it, when they get the momentum going and they're trying to capitalize back on it. You know, we've seen the Bears' passing attack just miss on a couple of connections there. That maybe would change a little bit of the tenor of this game. So it'll be interesting to see if that goes in. Nice design there with the kind of delayed rollout back there for the Cats, but
yeah,
for the Bears, but that'll bring into 2nd and 10.
Schematically, that was perfect. That was there. That found this hole in our defense, but just couldn't quite execute.
Oh!
So big hit right in the hole. Oh, and a flag is thrown in there.
That looked
right
like
in at the line of scrimmage.
Number 54, Liam Colton with the tackle in the backfield.
Colton bringing the heat. Well, it looks like it's going to be against the Bears.
Looks like it's going to be a hold against Lake Zurich. The Cats will decline. The results of the play is going to be
third
down and long.
So 3rd and 10. That was a nice play there by Liam, stepping up into the hole.
All right, so it's 3rd down here for the Bears. So as they get lined up with 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom, looks like we're going to have a little bit of motion. These guys kind of get lined back up. Nice shot there, the Cats defense.
Yeah, trips. This is the first time they've been in trips, and then Piggott is solo down here at the bottom. Nice pop there. That ball is underthrown again. They're just not connecting.
Yep, and you know, Coach O'Neill, like as that looks like the Lake Zurich punt team is going to come back to the field. That's a real long throw to make. From the far hash to the opposite side of the field, that's a real long throw. Like, and if that's you were asking if Coach Budge would be, if that's the throw that they're making incomplete, I think that would be the case.
They're getting real physical with Piggott down there at the line too, so he can't get off clean because they have safety help over the top of him, and that just threw off the timing there. They weren't able to do anything.
So after a couple of chunk plays there for the Bears offense, Cats defense buckles down. They'll force a 4th and long here.
So this punter has been a highlight for the Bears so far, and he puts that ball up. It's going to bounce at the ground and get away from it, fellas. Come on, keep going. Get away from it, Sammy. And they will down that at about the 2-yard line, it looked like. For you young ball players at home, when that punt hits the ground, you get away from it. Fire, fire, fire.
Coach O'Neill, we want to give a big shout out to Coach Kiernan and the varsity girls tennis team. They're going to be at home on Monday taking on Highland Park. So come on out. Come on over to LHS on campus. If you're walking around Butler Lake, come on over to our tennis courts. Check out those varsity girls tennis team in action on Monday as we host Highland Park.
So one thing the coaching staff started doing that's a little different than what they've done in the past is on offense, they've been going against the ones. We'll explain what that means in just a moment here. So Quinn takes a snap in his own end zone. The give is to Strelo, I believe. No, that's number 24, which is Waldorf. So big Eric Waldorf coming in there. I think this is what they call the Viking package. Is Basic in there also? You got the 2 big blonde-haired, blue-eyes Viking package coming in. Coach Ori was hoping they were going to get a shot to use this.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 8 here for the Cats with just under 8 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter.
So, yeah, there was Basic. You just saw him, 23. So there he is at tight end. Waldorf in the backfield.
Looks like that's number 10, Trevor Wallace, in at quarterback, Coach O'Neill.
Oh. So it is. Good call. Oh, we get a delay of game here. So be curious to see what's going on with that. So the ones, what I was saying, the offense has wanted to go against the number 1 defensive players. And so we've been practicing this week with Blaze at defensive back. The defense has been going up against Blaze and Brock Williams. They've been simulating Piggott. And so they wanted more competition. They said at the captain's meetings that they really liked the competition in practice, and it just kind of stepped everything from practice up. And so, this team the coaching staff has said they're tired of going 5-4. And getting a low seed to get into the playoffs, and they wanted to do some things different. And going up against those ones offensively and defensively is one thing that they're doing.
So as the Cats come back out here to the field, looks like it'll be Waldorf back in the backfield, Basic at the wing position there, and Wallace back at quarterback.
So this is that Viking package. I don't know if Wallace is the plan for this. I don't actually see Quinn on the sideline. Oh, there he is. So Wallace gets the snap off, but there's a whistle. We have a false start. We can't move much further back, Coach.
And this is one here, too, for the Cats where, as much as we've talked about their proficiency down here, not necessarily something that you want to continue to, especially with the penalty piece here.
You don't want to keep doing it. You're kind of fighting with fire here. All right, so it's still second and about 12 or 11 here because you can only back up halfway so many times. I guess infinity times you could. So still have that Viking package with Wallace in there at QB. Snap is off, hands off to Wallace, and he's going to get out to about the 8. He's just a big, strong boy.
And that'll bring up third down here for the Cats with a little breathing room coming back out of their end zone. Get a nice look there of the offensive line as well for the Cats.
Well, big eaters, they need some love. Bateski, like, Frazen, Langfeld, RVB.
Yep. Saw Carson Holmes up there too, Sawyer, Kapala. Great job for those lines, that offensive line so far tonight.
Glad to have Holmes back. Missed last week, was out of town at his brother's wedding. Congratulations, Aiden, if you're watching at home. So Wallace still in at Q. Little change in alignment there. They come up man on La Vista. Ooh, we jumped again.
And they got it there.
We can't, the cadence is different. Something Wallace and the center are doing is throwing us off a little bit.
You know, Coach O'Neill, I don't necessarily know if that might be the case at all, too, or just, like we talked about, like those 5-yard penalties the Cats wanted to come, like that being one of the points of emphasis for them. It's just a good opportunity to keep working on those right now as we get back with 6.5, and the clock's still running here coming to end the second quarter. All right, well, we have a little bit. Oh, I was getting ready for, I had a quick one ready to go, Coach O'Neill, for an activity read.
Basic in motion. The give is to Waldorf. He steps through the hole. But when you go back 5 yards every 2 plays, you're gonna run short here. So that's gonna be 4th and about 5. And our punt team will come on here. Haven't seen the punt team a whole bunch, Coach.
Nope, and as we see things kind of switching around here back for the Cats, Lake Zurich looks like they're going to get the ball with just about over 5 minutes left here in pretty decent field position. Piggott's back for the Bears here.
Shambo is back in. He is going to be punting. So I have a feeling that was more about the Viking package, maybe giving Quinn a little breather there. This big RVB comes in on the line. So just do get that off. Quinn with
nice
the big
punt.
Left foot. Oh, man. Punts it away from Piggott all the way out to the 50. You couldn't have thrown it any better than that,
no,
Coach.
Great punt there to change the field position, coming back on as the Cats defense takes the field with 5:07 left. Coach O'Neill, the defense has been very impressive tonight. We've seen the Bears kind of start to put together drives, but not really capitalize it like we saw before. Take advantage of maybe some things they had there with the passing game. So be interested to see what Lake Zurich does here with 5:07 left. If maybe part of the thinking might be, let's not give the Wildcats another chance with the ball, knowing that they're going to get it coming back out of halftime.
Yeah, just trying to chew up some clock here. The give is to number 2, to Peroni.
That's a nice job there. That looks like number 23, Caleb Basic, from that outside linebacker position, just knifing in underneath there.
Chewing that up. So big.
And so as we were saying, Coach O'Neill, it's all well and good to try to run the clock, get it out, but you also got to gain yards too.
Right, yeah, you have to go downhill a little bit.
Coach O'Neill, as we get going here through the broadcast, our next broadcast at home, what's going on here at LHS that day?
What is going on that day, Coach?
It is homecoming.
Homecoming, indeed.
It is also our LHS Athletics Hall of Fame class that will be recognized prior to the game here.
Kenyon back to pass. He's looking deep. He throws despite him being covered. Oh, there was a push-off there in the coverage, and Lake Zurich takes a big strike.
That was the number 6, Reese Katzenberger, on the reception.
Newby was in great coverage and then got pushed off. I mean, it's hand fighting. I'm a defensive guy. I always give the defense the benefit of the doubt on that. But I was just going to say he had him covered even when that ball was thrown, and then somehow he's magically open.
So here we go, is it with 4 minutes and 12 seconds and counting here. They'll be first and goal Bears from the Wildcat 3 or
But
4,
even this, Coach, like you still have to, if you're like Zurich, you still have to pay attention because all the Cats need is a minute on the clock to make the play happen.
And that's where, too, you're also not going to turn away points, Coach O'Neill. So that's where, like, the goal here is still just a key as he looks to set in.
Jumping over the top, and the call is touchdown. And these Bears fans and their sideline, they're excited. I mean, this is the closest game the Cats have had all year.
Yep, so it's 13-6 now there with the point conversion. So it'll be good to see the Cats kind of get a little chance, like you said, with a little bit of the adversity, is with 3:49 left here in the second half.
You know,
about to get a chance to come in and respond.
Something Coach Ori said about the Stevenson game, I asked him what he was most happy with. And, I mean, they scored 43 points. They did all this. They did everything. And as we get ready for the PAT here, and what he said he was most happy with was after Stevenson scored, we went right down and answered and scored back at them and just kind of put them back down in their place. And he said that turnaround, that showed maturity, that showed poise. They didn't get their head down, and that just kind of buried Stevenson.
So we have a little break here in the action, Coach O'Neill. We want to give a couple of shout-outs here. Guten the German club, meets Wednesdays in room 1109 after school. All are welcome. No German needed. Always lots of games and music. This week we are planning our homecoming window painting and an Oktoberfest party. Join us this Wednesday.
Guten Tag. I didn't know you were so fluent in German, Coach.
I know a little bit of German, Coach O'Neill. I did take Spanish when I was a student at LHS. I did not take German.
So we see Sammy Seth here, who is one of the Cats. He's the slot receiver, and he has 143 yards on 9 catches this year. Katzenberger is one of Lake Zurich's other big receivers here, Reese Katzenberger. He just caught that ball a little while ago. And so got a nice matchup there between those two. Hold is down, kick is up, and it is very good. That's a heck of a boot right there.
Coach O'Neill, that would have been good from Vernon Hills.
that might have gone to the parking lot.
All right, so with 3:49 left here in the second quarter, the score is the Cats 13, Bears 7. So as we talked about, Coach O'Neill, here is getting things lined back up. At homecoming, we're going to recognize our LHS Athletics Hall of Fame class for this year. And so tonight we're going to kind of try to give, we have some breaks, maybe a little bit of an action, or maybe a recap about some things you can expect as Wildcat fans. We want to start out with recognize our first group going in to the LHS Athletics Hall of Fame this year is the 1973 1-mile relay team under the guidance of coaches of Gretchen Hausman and Sue Rocky. Libertyville's girl track and field program quickly made its mark in 1973 after a thrilling regional victory, clinching the title 40-37 over Arlington. The mile relay team, composed of Liv Thompson, Sue Kemmer, Mary Whitmore, and Jeannie Youngst, captured the state title with a time of 4 minutes and 23 seconds.
That's
so we're
awesome.
excited to recognize that group next week as part of our Hall of Fame class.
So the Cats will take the kickoff here with just under 4 minutes to go in the half. They've got they've got Williams deep now. Williams and Sammy Seth. LaVista has been taking some of those. So we'll see where the Bears decide to kick it. This is the same kicker who just kicked that extra point that traveled quite a ways. He made good contact on that. So I have no doubt he can do the same here.
You know, Coach O'Neill, that's one of the things, too, that, having that kicker, being able to kick the ball in the end zone, or like we saw the Cats use a little bit of that directional kick to kind of keep it away. It'd be interesting to see what Lake Zurich chooses to do.
So he just pounds it, going to the end zone.
Back to the end zone. That beautiful kick.
It doesn't get much better than that. Hey, by the way, I want to give a shout-out to Mr. Tooley. Mr. Tooley was checking in with us, and he wanted to award us a Tulitzer Prize in sports broadcasting, Coach. He enjoys the broadcast so much.
You know, I've heard some people were say to us that were like Jim Nantz and Tony Romo.
Ooh.
And I would take the Jim Nantz part if that means I got to go call some golf in April. Yep, that would be for sure. I'll give you the Tony Romo, Coach O'Neill.
I'll take that. You know, I think I've been hitting the head as many times as he has, in fact. So Chambeau back in the game. I think that probably with Wallace was just part of that Viking package would be my guess. Sammy Seth in motion going across on the same side. The ball is quick out to La Vista. On a quick out screen, Brock Williams throwing a block out there, just picks up a couple.
And you know, like that, like of recognizing a great play there by Chris Chang, number 88 for Lake Zurich. He did a nice job of keeping contained, not letting Blaze get that back to the outside, and then jump back in and out. Like it was a very nice play there by the Bears to limit what we started out the game as being 8, 9, 10-yard chunks
Good
on
call.
those quick screens to La Vista.
That's just again, the same Lake Zurich defense. They're just moving some chips around. Low snap to Chambeau. He gets the hands on it, fires it across the middle to La Vista. What a heads-up play there. He knew he was going into traffic, had to go low for the ball. Went low, protected the ball and himself.
That was a good body control there by Blaze of going down and being able to get that nice throw by Quinn of putting that in only the spot where Blaze could go get it. Nice pitch and catch there for a first down.
3 minutes here. Cats not in any rush. I mean, this is they know they can take their strikes. They know they can take their shots. 3 minutes is a long time for this offense. Boy, that's a big Mike linebacker too, Coach. You see that kid, 42? Oh, just missed connection there to Brock Williams, that looking for him over the middle.
And that's kind of the first time, Coach O'Neill, we've kind of seen that misconnection tonight. A lot of things have been in rhythm and going here with the Cats on Brock as he snuck out from that tight end position to kind of settle in that hole right there by the defense.
Yeah. So we'll see. I know one of the things Coach Ori said they wanted to do is move them around, is move those linebackers around by not just formationally, but also the routes that they're running. So we'll see. Quinn waiting, trying to get a little jump there, then coming back and getting the call from Coach Ori, sending it in, Coach Christensen. Quinn back, scanning downfield. Wide receivers are covered, pretty good coverage there. He's going to run out of bounds. Get chased out after a pickup of maybe one.
You know, and that's one of the differences there we saw from Lake Zurich about having that spy from that linebacker position there. We saw Quinn hurt them with the legs on that, picking up that big third down conversion here on the last scoring drive for the Cats. Now you see Lake Zurich keeping the linebacker in, keeping eyes on Quinn, even with that 3-man rush up front. Really been interesting so far. No real pressure from Lake Zurich, Coach O'Neill. It's really been, they've been relying on that 3-man rush and really dropping everybody back and trying to make the Cats be a little bit patient here in the passing attack.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I mean, we've only seen them blitz, I think, 2 times, 3 times maybe. Oh, nice little toss
Nice
right
catch.
under there. A lot of room to go. Nice catch right there. That's Steven Strelo. He doesn't catch him out of the backfield all that often, but that was a heck of a play there and a big gainer when the Cats needed one.
It was. And as you can take here, if we get a well, the Cats are getting up on the line of scrimmage, so I don't know if we're going to have time to get a replay. It was a nice job of hitting him in stride. Well thrown ball there by Quinn to hit Steve out of the backfield.
And that was one time that that they actually blitzed. Strelo gets the handoff. Nice job getting north-south. Saw there wasn't much there. Just decides he's going to put his head down and get 2 or 3.
So 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the second quarter as the Cats are marching down. And they'll make it 2nd and 8 here on their own territory. And like you said, Coach Neal, the Cats full playbook up. 2 timeouts still left.
Right.
A lot of time left too. And this is where we can get into, we talked about it on the broadcast before, where you get that kind of 2-for-1 at the end of the half. Cats get the ball to start the second half. They go and punch it here. They get a chance to kind of answer right back without Lake Zurich getting a chance to have the ball.
So Seth in motion. Quinn dropping back. A late blitz from the linebacker. That is, just missed. It looked like La Vista got tangled up a little bit with the defensive back.
And you know, Coach O'Neill, we've seen some calls early in the contest for PI, but for the most part, they're kind of letting them play with and letting some of the little hand fighting going on downfield, which I know probably as defensive guy, you don't necessarily mind. As offensive guys, depends on, which way it goes, on how that works out.
So that brings up a 3rd and about 7 here, 3rd and 8. And this is where the play calling gets a little interesting because you're going for it. You're in 4-down territory. Do you take a shot? Do you try to get a chunk? What do you do here, Coach?
If it's 4-down territory, Coach O'Neill, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to maybe squeak out a run play here to catch the Bears off guard.
Oh, there's a penalty flag. Complete to Williams. There again, Eaton in the middle. Ooh, a helmet goes flying. Oh. Things are happening down here. Emotions are running a little high. Bateski's helmet came off. So he has to come out for one play.
It'll be interesting to see here what we got. The flag. That flag got thrown kind of early in.
Yep.
Wonder if that was a delay, illegal shift is what they're going to call against the Cats. And see, now this is the interesting part. If I'm like Zurich, I don't know if I necessarily take this because given the Cats 5 yards, I'd rather have them in 4th down than to be in 3rd down. Now they're going to walk them back, so we'll see if it pays off. But like we've seen the Cats offense.
Is that a pre-snap penalty? Should that have been blown up?
And that's where as it goes through with the illegal shift here now, as it looks like as they're going to move them back and make it 3rd and 12 for the Cats. Again, the Cats get another chance at it. And we've seen that Cats offense rip off big chunks. And that's where, it's one of those things, like I said, for me, if you're asking me, I'm probably putting the Cats in 4th down and making them make a decision for me.
So Bateski has to come off the field
looks
for one
like
down.
There's a conversation going on here at the top of the field. Still, they got us holding up.
So the refs are talking to the Lake Zurich coaches right now, explaining what's going on. Lake Zurich coach probably asking how come that kid who came out shoving our kid isn't, there wasn't a flag on that. This is Rob Plants, I believe,
I think they might be asking, maybe doing the same thing we're talking about taking, taking the result of the play.
Yeah, they are. They're declining it. There you go, coach. But I think that's a pre-snap penalty.
All right, so here we go. It's 4th down here for the Cats.
4th down. Big play here. I mean, this is a big play emotionally and momentum-wise for Lake Zurich.
Correct.
Because, like you said, that back-to-back for the Cats. So La Vista in motion. Shambo, Strelo behind him. Oh, a timeout maybe by the Bears?
Yep.
Timeout by the Bears.
And you know what? Not a bad timeout there by Lake Zurich to see what the Cats are going to get into. I really don't necessarily know if like the Cats or if the Bears get stopped or able to drive back down, get some points to come out. I'm sure they'd be happy, but kind of get a chance to line up, see where the Cats are at, kind of set your defense around there. All right, Coach O'Neill. So we'd also, too, as we're talking about that LHS Athletics Hall of Fame, we talked about that 1973 one-mile relay team. The other team that is going in is the 1976 baseball team. The 1976 team finished with a 32-5 record, winning the conference championship, the regional title, the sectional title to advance into the state tournament. And at the state finals, the team defeated Edwards County 7-3 in the quarterfinals and O'Fallon 8-2 in the semifinals and lost 5-4 to Brother Rice in the championship game, preventing the Cats from winning the title. Up until that point, that was the farthest an LHS team had made it in the state series. So the 1976 baseball team and Coach Panther will be coming back in 2 weekends to be inducted into our LHS Athletics Hall of Fame.
Coach Panther is one of those legends whose name I've heard more times than I could count. And I've only had the pleasure of meeting him once. I actually just taught his grandson last year. His grandson is a junior at LHS this year. All right,
so here we go. 4th down here for the Cats.
4th and let's call it 7. Chambeau gets the snap. He's looking. The toss is to Strelo. Out that same play that we got before, complete. And he's not happy with just the 1st down. He's going to keep going all the way down to the 18.
And then we got another flag back down here on the field. Be interested to see what that is.
It's downfield. It's right about where the 1st down marker was.
Like Coach O'Neill, that was, we talked about how Lake Zurich hasn't really brought. That was the first time they brought pressure with 4 there to try to maybe force a little bit. Nice call there by the Cats, getting the running back down. Regardless of what the call looks like, this is going to be as after the play, although the chains are still staying. It'll be interesting to see if that's during the play or after. See where we're at here and what our officials have to say. Again, the officials are not mic'd up tonight. So we'll get, as you see the replay here, there's Lake Zurich with the twist, bringing 4. Steve coming right back out. And again, that's the benefit, Coach O'Neill, of having to respect that Cats passing game.
Yep.
Everybody going back downfield.
So I missed the call.
Looks like they're keeping it 4th down. They're calling it during the play. Or are we going to take it 1st down? Let's see if we get a signal here. They calling it after the play or during. They're going to call 1st down. They're going to call it as after the play here. So it'll be 1st and 10.
It was a personal foul after the play.
Correct.
So things are getting a little chippy here between the Cats and the Bears. So it's 1st down, but it's back further than where it was when it was 4th down.
And clock's running here. Cats still have 2 timeouts to get into under a minute here left. It looks like the moon's coming out, Coach. You can see a little bit of that out to the east.
So Shambo with the snap, the fake to Waldorf. He's going to put that ball on a rope.
Oh, nice
catch. That's got to be Williams. Brock Williams with the Bears defender draped all over him. He just reaches out and takes that ball and says, I am stronger than you and I will eat tonight. And that gets him down to the 10.
All right, so Cats back up to the line of scrimmage. Clock will start here after the chains are set. Cats are lined up ready to rock and roll.
Waiting for the chains. Come on, people, hurry up. I know there we go. Fake to Waldorf, ball's up to La Vista. Touchdown just like that.
Nice
just
answer
like
there
that.
from the Cats as they come back in. Shambo to Williams, sets up. Shambo to La Vista.
That's like you said, great answer. The Bears just got some momentum. They got things going down there. And then the Cats are just able to boom, 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 even despite a penalty, despite some things getting a little out of hand, a little out of pocket, able to come down and boom, get that answer to La Vista.
And that's one of the things that we went through and talked about here is that the Cats getting the score in with only 35 seconds left on the clock. Cats get the ball back, coming back out of halftime too. You'd venture to guess that Lake Zurich's not going to have a lot of time with no timeouts to be able to get something going here at the end.
Right, and not exactly the way their offense worked. I mean, they just had their biggest play of the season on that last play, or on that just before the touchdown. So the Cats are coming out. Looks like they're lining up right in PAT formation. So we don't have a holder, though, fellas. Cats have to take a timeout.
All right, Coach O'Neill. Well, we have this timeout then. We'll keep going through the LHS 2024 Athletics Hall of Fame class. And the next person we're to recognize or bring up that will be inducted in on our homecoming game is my classmate, Kevin Fontana.
How about that?
Kevin was an all-state football player and honorable mention all-state in football, all-state in lacrosse as a junior. And then as a senior, he was all-state in football and also all-state in lacrosse. Kevin, after high school, went on to continue his career as a lacrosse player at Illinois State University and was named to the all-conference team 3 times and was also selected as a captain 2 times, in addition to being my class's 2004 Newsome Outstanding Male Athlete of the Year. In our class, our senior year was football, went 13-1 with a state finals appearance, losing to double overtime to Oswego. And up until that point, that was the farthest the football team had gone in the history of LHS athletics. So super excited to see Kevin come on back. I know him and his family are back here in the area, so it's nice to see him and have a bunch of my classmates come back as we celebrate our 20th reunion this year.
Holy cow. You're that old, Coach?
Sure am, Coach O'Neill.
I find it hard to believe. So Cats set up in muddle huddle here. Bears are defending this by spreading out all over the field.
It'll be interesting to see what Lake Zurich has cooked up for the
motion
muddles.
right there. Ooh. Ball's up to Williams.
What are
they calling? Wow, that was a nice catch by Brock.
Was.
Sammy is down. He got popped as he threw that ball.
They call us a shift on us?
What are they calling? Do these guys not know muddle?
Not sure. I think they maybe had a little false start. Not positive. Didn't see the, normally, Coach O'Neill, like week 1, the official's headphone was so loud, like that it was. I know it maybe didn't feel that way at home, but in ours, like I had the bells ringing for the rest of the night. After that one, the Cats line up here just to kick now.
So Sammy's back on, so he's okay. Man, that's too bad. That was 2 points right there. Makes up for that lost PAT. Would have been nice. So Ratner's getting the PAT attempt here. The kick is up, and I think that's good, it looks like, from here.
So that'll make it 20-7 Wildcats here with 35 seconds left. Coach O'Neill, we have a special guest for the third quarter.
We sure do.
Do you want to give us kind of a rundown of who we got joining the broadcast tonight?
So we have one, Cameron Schaefer, stepping into the booth for the third quarter here. Cam was the class of, did he graduate? Actually, graduate 16? Graduated 16. He was on that team that made a run to the state championship. They made a run to the state championship despite their offensive coordinator.
That's right.
I mean, they did everything they could.
Definitely depending on who you ask, for sure.
And so Cam is in the area, was able to to come in for the game today. He and I sometimes text about Illini football and Illini basketball, and we wanted to get some guys up here. And I was thinking, like with this offense that we're seeing here, the only offense that I've seen that's anywhere close to this one was the Riley Lees, Cam Schaefer. You had
Henry Schmidt, Timmy Calamari, Noah Motterwell, Brad DeBerry, Charlie Schmidt, Ryan O'Malley, Walker Hare, John Evers, Tyler Yost. We can just keep going because it feels like yesterday to me. You were talking about getting a bit older, Coach O'Neill, but that's where I know all these guys are getting married now and are doing, out of college and doing all that. So it's great to see Cam back, and he'll join us here for the third quarter.
Yeah, be in for the third quarter. So looking forward to that. So Ratner will kick off again. We've been doing those directional kicks from this hash. They did move Piggott over and up here. So here's right where they have been kicking. And they put it there to him. He catches it about 15.
All right, so I'm going to venture. Oh, here we go.
No. All right, Ratner. Come on, Menji. Come on. All you need to do is
nice
run. Nice
tackle.
job.
All right, so that's where Coach O'Neill is about ready to say, depending on where the ball gets, it'll depend on what happens here with Lake Zurich. Now, we've seen Lake Zurich try to throw the ball a little bit more here. And so with 26.4 seconds left, the clock does stop on first down. No timeouts, though, for the Bears.
Right.
Be interested to see. I think a sack kind of puts you in a spot where you're not going to necessarily recover from that,
play.
Especially if we pass the first play or two. So it'll be interesting to see here kind of the chess match that comes up between the Bears and the Cats.
I would have really liked to see the Cats special teams there adjust. They clearly had that plan going in, but when Piggott lined up there, I would have liked to see just say scrub it, just grub kick it, just do something else. Don't put the ball in the hands of their best player when there's only 30 seconds left and you've got them down. All right, so Kenyon is back to take the snap. There's three wide receivers right. Piggott is off to his left. He's looking right. He's putting the ball up. Cats defenders in a better position. Ooh. Nice defense there.
Great defense there back here. That looks like number 12, Tommy Bunick. Great job of staying over the top. Wonderful defense there by Tommy on that long play.
Second down. I mean, they have 4 shots at it. What do you?
Well, you also,
have to,
with 21 seconds left, Coach O'Neill, too, if you got 2 slender ready to go, you can get your first down if you try to here. But like what we've seen with Lake Zurich is that the Cats are forcing Lake Zurich to make the difficult throws. They're forcing Lake Zurich to make maybe a little bit lower percentage throws. So it'll be interesting to see here. Piggott goes to the bottom of the screen. Cats putting 2 over the top there. Obviously paying a lot of attention to that side.
So snap is back. They're going to put a little that little out that they've been trying to connect on, and I don't know that they've connected on it yet.
And that's one of those there too, Coach O'Neill, where they obviously are trying to clear it out, get somebody back underneath there. Like you said, it's haven't necessarily gotten that one yet. Something they like because they've run it a few times here tonight, which going through there. But like we said, the Cats are defense. Hats off to them, forcing them into the lower percentage type throw. Now we did see the leg from the Lake Zurich kicker as well too earlier, so that'll be interesting to kind of see where we're at range wise. That extra point we saw, well, like we said, it would have been good from Route 60. So
and this is a 47-yarder right here though.
So empty 4x1 here for Lake Zurich.
Takes the snap. Nice pressure up on. Oh, again, Tommy Bunick, great coverage. He came down with that ball, but out of bounds.
And we got a flag at the line of scrimmage here for the hold, which I venture to guess we're going to be moving on back.
Aiden Newby is just doing a great job. He is one-on-one with Piggott, and he is getting hands on him right off the line of scrimmage and running with him stride for stride. That is fantastic. Do you back him up here, Coach?
I think you do. You back him up here because it definitely takes the field goal out of range with only 11.4 seconds left. Looks like that's where they're going here, too. Or if you take it 4th down, that's okay, too, because that's a long kick, like you were saying, Coach Neal, but it looks like it's backing it up.
They might have on film, they might know this kid's leg and say, you know what, we're going to take that out of the equation.
Yep. And we've seen there, too, of, we've 3 plays here. 2 are deep balls here from the Bears of throwing it up. And then they had that one kind of current clear everybody out, hit the shallow crosser run, which again, that gets tackled and bound. That clock starts moving real fast. So it'll be interesting to see here what Lake Zurich's got if they're trying to play back here. Cats are backed way back up. Blaze is all the way up almost at the 10-yard line, top screen, out of the picture right now. As you see the Cats.
I don't see Piggott in at all. Oh, there he is. He was in the slot. Ball is up.
Picked.
Is that intercepted? It is indeed. Nice interception. Just get down, son. And a touchback. So we should see the Cats come out here and kneel, I would imagine.
Yep, and then we'll go in. It looks like we're going to be going in here to the half 27. Coach O'Neill, I know you got a little preview here from Mr. Gore and the marching band of coming up. The greatest band in the land. What do we got coming? I know it's middle school band night here at Walter R.
Middle
Johnson
school band night. We got all kinds of exciting stuff going on. Wanted to give a shout out to our drum majors, Jessica Headland, Nathan Lickelsar, and Amelia Smith Laubenstein. They are the ones who will be leading the band out. Shout out to Savannah Mix, too, who is the percussion instructor. And so she does a heck of a job with the drum line. That's one of my favorite parts about Football Friday, Coach. When the drum line goes through the halls in the morning, man, do I love that. So Chambeau will take a knee and get us to half. So the Cats will go up 20-7. Over Lake Zurich. It's been a pretty tightly contested game, but the Cats have been in control for most of it.
And that's where, Coach, the Cats came out, got up early. Lake Zurich came back and answered. Cats were able to come back and have an answer of their own. But it is a good chance. Like any game in the North Suburban Conference, it's going to be a tight game just like this between two storied programs. So as we head in here to the half with the score 27, no surprise of a tightly contested game. Would expect something similar here as we go to the second half.
All right. So on behalf of Wildcat Productions, we're going to turn it over now to that best band in the land, and we will see you along with our guest, Cam Schaefer, after halftime. Thank you.
It's halftime at the Walter Johnson Sports Complex, where your Libertyville Wildcats lead the Lake Zurich Bears by a score of 20-7. We're now bringing your marching Wildcats onto the field, featuring their 2024 halftime performance, Secret Agent Band, which features themes from 4 major spy franchises. First up, featured in 27 films and performed by countless artists, Monty Norman's theme to the James Bond films has become a musical signature synonymous with the spy genre, perfectly encapsulating the essence of the world's most suave, daring, and famous secret agent. This unforgettable melody features bold brass and an air of mystery. Our marching Wildcats open this year's show with the James Bond theme. Originally written in 1962, Quincy Jones' Soul Bossa Nova invokes the groovy spirit of the 60s while aligning seamlessly with the Austin Powers franchise. Enhancing the titular character's eccentric charm and flair, best known from the Austin Powers films, we now present Soul Bossa Nova. Yeah, baby. Your marching Wildcat Secret Agent Band. We will now bring out our award-winning LHS Home Squad under the direction of Casey Dugan and Megan Walter. Enjoy their performance as the marching Wildcats perform All of the Lights. Your LHS Home Squad. Now we welcome to the field our future marching Wildcats from Roundout School, Oak Grove Middle School, and Highland Middle School. They head to the field to combine with the marching Wildcats on a rousing performance of Eye of the Tiger. Here we go, your current and future marching Wildcats. assistance in preparing today's performance. Join us next home game as we celebrate homecoming and feature our brand new marching uniforms. Now let's cheer on our Wildcats to a victory over the Bears.
Congratulations to the Wildcat freshman football team on their victory over Lake Zurich last night, 8-0. Junior varsity football team will host Lake Zurich here in the stadium at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Wildcat flag football junior varsity
All right, are we gonna?
won a victory over Buffalo Grove today, 26-0. And earlier tonight, the varsity flag football team won an exciting 8-6 victory over Loyola.
Can you hear everything? You heard him say that.
Flag football team won 2 games at the Loyola Jamboree.
All right, welcome back to Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex as we are in a Week 4 North Suburban Conference matchup here. The Cats are up 20-7 as we're getting our little warm-up here before we start the second half. Coach Davis is here, and we also have a special guest in the booth. This is Cameron Schaefer right here. Cam Schaefer joins us. He's from the class of 16. Was on that team that made a run to the state championship game. So Cam, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So Cam, as you come back and you kind of reflect now that I'm not going to say how many years past it is because that makes me feel old, but your high school athletic experiences were coming in back on a decade. What are like some of your top memories you've got from that 2015 team?
You know, the top memories from that 2015 team was, obviously having examples like the state game, which was, unbelievable, despite the loss. But it was really the the summer going into that team. But we had a lot of people just going into that, a lot of returning starters, and we had a really good camaraderie, and all of us were just so excited to, train every single day on those hot summer days, doing those fitness testing, and just like, we had a really good band of brothers going into that. So, each and every day was really a great memory, but if I could really just pick out a couple, the state game, obviously. I think Stevenson game of the week when we just absolutely smacked the, defending state champs. It was 35-7 with Jack Sorensen at quarterback on the Stevenson team. Well, shout out to Jack Sorensen. But there was a lot of great memories, and I still remember them all to this day.
Cam, I think the thing, too, that as you say that is, like, the state game, even though that the result on the scoreboard necessarily was, I know, like, one of my favorite memories from that was with you guys after that game, even though it was not what everyone, but just about that same kind of feeling and that same sense of pride and accomplishment, even though the scoreboard didn't necessarily reflect what we all hoped for. Like, that's stuff that I even kind of get choked up about now. It just, like, speaks to the group that you guys had in that year.
Yeah.
For those of you listening at home that don't know, Coach Davis was the offensive coordinator of that group. And we had a good defense. It was really our offense that got us the run to the state championship. And so Coach Davis making those calls, and then with Riley Lees and the list of guys he rattled off before half, besides Cam here. So that was what drove us there. That's what drove the bus for us that year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how I think about it is that with that group of guys, we've been playing, since like we were, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and the fact that we were all able to stay together, and most importantly, stay playing football. You see a lot of people drop off, whether that be in middle school, whether that be in high school, and the fact that we all stay together well is that skill group, that offensive line on on those heavyweights teams in 8th grade and 7th grade, and all the way throughout high school. Even in that sophomore year when we had 3 or 4 guys get moved up to varsity, we were able to still put up a 6-3 record with Ryan Maher at quarterback. Let me tell you, Ryan Maher at quarterback. And I think that just go to show that just how much chemistry we had together, and how much talent we had on our team. And I think carrying that into varsity football junior year, we had a majority of juniors starting that year, and gathering that experience going into senior year, it made the season just especially special because we had such high expectations going into it.
And as we get ready to start the second half here, Cam, as you talked about, there's a lot of similarities with your guys' group and the group like this year for the Wildcat skill positions of guys who had a lot of experiences underclassmen through varsity and have had that experience that are now our upperclassmen are able to kind of capitalize on this experience and those reps they received over the last 2 seasons.
That's going to be something I'd like you to get into a little bit, and both of you, I'd love to hear your input on this. When you have that many weapons, you only have one football.
Right.
And you've got to figure out how you're going to distribute that And we can do it after the kickoff here as the Cats are set to receive the kickoff. It looks like we've got Brock Williams and Sammy Seth deep. Just the process of how you do that and how you make sure everybody eats and everybody gets what's best for the team.
Totally.
That kick is going to go into the end zone, and so that'll come out here.
Well, that's where Coach O'Neill, like you said with that, like that's probably be an interesting perspective coming from Cam as opposed to me, what that looks at. So, Cam, what do you think? As Coach O'Neill said, as the Cats offense takes the field, because Cats have the same weapons this year. A lot of guys, a lot of talent all over the field, and like you said, there's only one football. So, Cam, from your experience, what does that kind of look like?
You know what? Obviously, in my experience that senior year, I definitely wanted our offensive coordinator to call more passes. But, we did have a great quarterback that can run that thing. And, we had some great talented skill positions, meaning that we had Henry Schmidt, who broke the record for, I think, receptions and receiving yards, as well as, myself, Tim Calamari, and Noah Motterwell. So it was really about just being selfless and sharing the ball. And you got to think what's better for the greater good.
Ball is complete there to Gavrick. I mean, there's a great example, Coach. Gavrick is an all-state caliber wide receiver, and I feel like that's the first time we've called his number today because Blaze and Brock are just getting the ball.
Right, and that's where, I think like some things, like based on the structure of the defense, like also helps dictate to kind of some things that happen in there as well, and playing to the strengths of everyone to use things to open back up. As the handoff there to Strelo as he gets downhill.
I think that's something you said, Cam, that I think is key there, is all of you guys in this, from the team chemistry, from your camaraderie, like there was never competition for the ball. Like you guys wanted to win, and whoever got the ball, whoever was targeted by Riley, it wasn't like, well, I haven't gotten my touches.
Absolutely. And I mean, when it came down to it, our whole offensive, team and our skill positions, none of us were going to play college besides Riley. We knew that he was the head honcho. We knew that we could lean on him to really, bring us to victory, but we all wanted to do our part, whether that was something small on this drive or something big in terms of the entire game. So that's what it really came down to win that game.
Yeah.
All the games.
And then a completion to Strelo there. That's the third one they've run. Eventually, they've got to have somebody there.
Well, but Coach Neal, it's kind of one of those like where it's pick your poison. Where like, do you want to give up the home run ball or the top, or do you want to make the Cats just continue to complete that pass 10 yards at a time down the field?
Yeah, that seemed like on the last drive they were really doing that. Looked like the wheel route or a swing route to that running back, and that's how they kind of scored on the last drive there.
Quinn dropping back, plenty of time. Nearly intercepted. Threw that one into a little bit of traffic. Defensive player, number 4 for the Bears, Copeland Odinger, was able to step in there. Cam, I'm really glad you brought up Motterwell because, like that offense, yes, that offense doesn't work without Riley. Yes, that offense doesn't work without your skill position players. But, man, being able to hand that ball off to Motterwell whenever you needed 3 yards or just to make the defense play honest, like he was a battering ram.
Absolutely. And, apart from just getting the ball, I don't think people give him enough credit for how much he would just set the edge and be that lead blocker for Riley Lees every single time he'd do a, QB power. But, we had a lot of people that, pick your poison, kind of as Coach Davis just mentioned.
So Strelo gets the carry. He goes around to the side. It's a straight give. That wasn't a read there.
So, Kim, here's a non-kind of football-related question for me. As a former athlete and a former LHS Wildcat, what would you say is kind of one of the biggest life lessons that now that you've been away from here for a while that you took from your participation in interscholastic athletics?
Wow. Great question. You know what? How I see it is that, throughout life, especially when you're getting to college, you feel like it's kind of you and yourself that's really going to drive change, and you and yourself that's really going to make differences, and just you and yourself that's really going to, drive to success. But, being in a team sport, especially in a sport like football, you just realize that it's such a team game, and that realizing that, you can't do it all yourself, whether that's relying on some of your coworkers, which is kind of the state I'm in right now, and just having that, how all of you guys can work together to, achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Ooh.
And that's
bobbled snap
nice
there.
Punt.
Nice punt by Quinn. He's going to need to bobble that snap every time. Oh, and
nice
great
tackle.
coverage down there.
That's 13. Brock Williams there on the
Brock
coverage.
Williams
Nice
on the
tackle there
cover.
by Brock.
Pickett making the decision to pick that up, and I think
Cam,
he's going to regret
as you mentioned
that.
that too, I think that's one of the things is you said before that, like, from your class, like Riley and Ben obviously went on and played college football, but the rest of you guys were not, and the rest of you guys, I think more of you chose, like maybe had opportunities, but chose not to, afterwards, and that's where, one of the things about using education-based high school athletics to set you up for those skills that we talk about for life, but being intentional about developing those skills through, which I don't think you guys maybe knew some of the stuff all the time that we were kind of getting at with some of that.
Absolutely.
But hopefully it kind of pays off now as you kind of get a chance to look back at it.
100%, and especially in the game of football, you're also looking at, football is a very aggressive sport. You have a goal and you're trying to achieve it. Well, that's getting better every single day, working your absolute butt off. And, I think I really just took that exact mindset, whether it was in my studies at the University of Illinois.
The greatest learning institution in the history of mankind.
Greatest learning institution. And just, you're just always trying to get better. There's always going to be someone better than you. And I think that's something that you have to kind of realize, you do realize growing up, whether that's in high school or in college. And it's not exactly just trying to be, it's all about just trying to be better than the person next to you and just consistently try to get better.
Nice little run there after a bobbled snap. That is Peroni again. He seems to be getting stronger as the game is going on, Coach. He is he's bringing it.
It's Derrick Henry right there.
Yeah, very little Derrick Henry.
So, Cam, what are you up to now? Like, as you come back in, as now you're working through, fill us in on what things have been going on for Cam Schaefer.
The life is good for Cam Schaefer. We're living in the good old city of Chicago. We got friends from school, friends still from back home of Libertyville, that we see around in both Lakeview, Lincoln Park, living in a great, nice tackle.
That had to be basic. Nobody else does it like that. Yep, sure was.
But yeah, living with some of my friends from school at the moment. Have my lovely girlfriend here with me right now, Katie. Just working downtown the city and couldn't be more happier.
So, Cam, as you come back and think about it, we asked about some of that stuff. So talk to us about maybe favorite Friday night football memory here at the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex.
What's the best Friday night football game?
Can I throw one? Because I have my number one.
Yeah, he's got number one.
If I was a defense attorney, I would say asked and answered.
Right, yes,
do
exactly. From there, as we get the Cats here after the basic tackle sets it down.
Oh, a lot of coverage. Nowhere to go. Oh, nice. No, sir, that is not the correct assessment of that call. Let the referee who's right next to the play make that call.
And so my favorite, as we know think where the penalty is going to go here, and what's going to come up with a pass interference against the Cats, is Downers Grove North, first round of the playoffs. Or I would put Warren at home against the all-out pressure. Same pass concept. Won't say the name because never will. And you right off the line of scrimmage.
Pass interference, defense, 15 yards, previous spot, result, first down.
They're on the mic now.
Referee microphone is back on for the Wildcat Productions. But same route, right off the line of scrimmage, instant win, ball right up, touchdown for 6 each time. That Downers Grove North game, that one definitely sticks out because there was 8 offensive series, 8 touchdowns on that one to open up the playoffs that year.
Yeah, and I think that's real. I think we really just put the state to notice of what we were really about, how high power our offense was. Like you just mentioned, 8 drives, 8 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure all three main receivers had a touchdown that game, and we just really put. And I heard Downers Grove North has a really good team this year. As I saw. I wonder if they're still running that triple option.
All right, so I answered for you, which is I know teaching 101 not to do. So let's talk about yours. Favorite. It could be. I know you were also a multi-sport athlete here at Libertyville growing up, but also what were some of your top highlights looking back on your athletic career?
Yeah, so I think some of my favorite games for sure was I'm gonna bring 2 games in itself. One was the semifinal senior year against Bradley Bourbonnais. Game winner in an absolute snowball. And I'm pretty sure on that last drive we were down by we were down by 6, I believe, or 5 points, and we were talking about 20-mile-per-hour winds. The visibility was just non-existent, and I'm pretty sure with that drive in itself, we were passing it down the field. Great catches by Henry, Tim, and myself, and finally just driving it through for a touchdown. And on the other hand, my other favorite was junior year against Addison Trail. We were underdogs going into that game. They had a great running back, a quarterback that just had gotten injured and broke his ankle, I believe, the week before, but they still had a great team in itself. And, if those who know the Libertyville program, we hadn't really gone that far in the playoffs, over the past 3, 4, 5 years before that. And, just getting over that hump, getting into the semifinal game, it was great. It was a great success.
Let's see what we have here. Delayed game goes against the Bears.
Oh, outstanding. I was going to say, Basic did not cross the line of scrimmage there.
Dead ball.
That was
delayed game.
We haven't been getting very lucky on
5-yard
calls
previous
here.
spot. Still third down.
But it'll set up a 3rd and 10 for the Bears here. I think it's funny, Cam, listening to you, and, as I'm watching these kids, like, I watched you out there the same way at this, and just thinking about, those lessons that you were talking about, and the memories that it created, and thinking, like, that's what they're doing right now.
I know.
Like, they don't even realize it. They're thinking about this next play. They're thinking about the next game. But, Coach Davis and I obviously both played, both coached. Coach Davis played in college, but we all know that at some point we're hanging up our cleats for the last time.
Totally.
Oh, there we go. Just out of reach of number 13. That is Nikolay Oblakiv, as far as you know. So it's, and like this is, this has the potential to be a special group here, like we saw with you guys. And it's impossible to tell a 17-year-old to appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Because they're 17. But you just hope that enough of it soaks in that they can be reflective like you are now.
And as we, sorry, Cam, as I saw here, like from Lake Zurich, Coach O'Neill, that's what we talked about, being capitalized on the passing game. Haven't been able to do that consistently tonight. We saw that there with the drop on the miss.
Basic just barely misses. There we go, and La Vista makes the fair catch.
So with 7 minutes left here in the third quarter, the Cats get the ball back here. It's still 20-7. Both teams kind of trade off possessions here to start the halftime right now. And guys, like as we were looking here coming out, what are we thinking here for the second half? Like if you put yourselves in the shoes of the Bears or the Cats, what are we looking at adjustment-wise coming in at halftime?
Well, I really think the Bears got to be feeling pretty good right now. I mean, they stopped the Cats. They had a nice little drive there. They can easily hang their hat and say, we got unlucky with a penalty, but we're moving some things right now. I'd really like to see the Cats take a couple strikes downfield, stretch this defense out, and if they want to go back to Strelo after that or even Quinn on his feet, let's get some things moving here. And there was the give to Strelo right up the middle, gets to the second level, and then gets upended by Evan Peterson. Nice tackle there.
And that's one of the things that'll be interesting to see here. I think Lake Zurich's content of not letting the Cats, Coach O'Neill, get those big kind of chunk plays down the field.
You're right.
And making the Cats kind of try to march their way down the field as well.
Absolutely, and just seeing Lake Zurich in that first half, you saw just a lot of missed opportunities. They had some open plays. There's receivers wide open in some certain scenarios, and they just didn't catch the ball or, just didn't capitalize. And, we just hope that Libertyville just doesn't leave the door open.
Don't miss him.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And that's where, too, is we talked about that Lake Zurich defense, Cam. The guy that was in the center of that Lake Zurich defense was actually here tonight earlier. I know they left just around halftime.
Did they leave?
Jack Sanborn and a couple of his teammates were down on the field with the Bear faithful and taking in the game tonight. And so, that was somebody, as you look at, like, the quality of competition, we talked about, like, two-storied programs. And, like, you can go down the list of both programs here with the people back on there. There's that dump off back there. Strelo.
Whoa. There's that big
nice
middle linebacker.
Wow.
He's living very large. That he's not able to bring Strelo down. I know that's one of the things Coach Ori said they wanted to do. They wanted to get those linebackers running and kind of wear them down. And they're able to do that.
But going to your point, Coach Davis, just seeing Lake Zurich, just how well they just stayed consistent over the years. I think it wasn't until after I would say Prospect's little run back in the early 2000s, 2004, 2005, until they started.
Kim, do you know who stopped that? I'm sorry, I just had to stop that Prospect run. That's all. It happened here actually at the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex.
My bad. Sorry, after the Libertyville state championship game. But anyways, he had that Lake Zurich, absolute, pretty much dominance from the, late 2000s, early 2010s. Really just had a hold on the North Suburban Conference. Are we still a North Suburban Conference at the moment?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Okay. But and the fact that they were in the state championship a couple years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, you just see always consistently, whether that's good talent, disciplined football team, and just well coached year in year out, and that's just what Lake Zurich brings to the table.
Yeah, and, you know, we were talking about earlier, Coach Davis and I talking, like they've been running the same defense since I was in high school.
Wow.
Like this exact same 3-3 stack they've been running since.
Yeah,
I
3-3
actually
stack,
think
yeah.
Prophet might have started running a 3-3 defense before he was born. Like I don't even know how that's possible, but as we got Brock Williams going in motion here, that's the big sophomore tight end.
Oh,
Brock
nice.
Williams there. So the give is to Strelo.
Nice
He's getting
job.
some open field running and picking up chunks. This is what Coach Ori said they really wanted to do was show, hey, we're not just a big strike team. We can run the football also.
And like you said, Coach O'Neill, that just opens up everything else. Like Cam was alluding to earlier, is when you like put on tape that you can do do all. It really forces teams to make a decision, and then you're just able to kind of react at what the defense gives you each week.
Oh,
And this is without Connor Dixon. I think that's important. Remember, that's without the number 1 running back.
And that's a big shout out to the guys up front. That's 72 Miles Pateski, 64 Rhett Van Boning, 68 Max Frazen, 55 Carson Holmes, 67 Andrew Langfelt, 58 Sawyer Coppola.
I think somebody wanted something to go a little faster up there. Oh, we are having a little struggle with the snaps. Quinn's been reaching down low.
Still think that's going to be enough there for the first down. We'll move the chains.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing right here on the field is exactly almost vice versa what I experienced back in 2015. When you have such a dominant pass team, like this team right now, they're able to just run up the gut and get those large chunk plays with that clock turning. On the contrary, back when in 2015, I'm pretty sure every single cornerback that lined up to me was not even looking at me, more so looking at the backfield, seeing if Riley was just going to go around the corner, and left a lot of us wide open. So hopefully,
I think there was a lot of like those 9 for 12 for like 280-yard stat lines that year in the passing game. As Quinn's back to pass, there's it out deep downfield.
all right.
Got a little. Might have gotten a little cocky there, thrown into double coverage.
But that Coach O'Neill, that's one as we look at back, he's targeting Gavrick there on that play of taking that shot back down the field, back over the top, and that seemed like we talked before. The Cats have been taking advantage of it. Wouldn't be surprised to get back, and they've been getting to the credit to the guys up front and about getting that 6, 7, 8 yards and getting pushed out front, and that just wears back down on the defense.
And if you look at their nose too, we don't have height and weight on him. But he's a little guy. Number 34 has been playing nose for them. Strelo gets the carry off to the right side. Again, what a big push.
See, the nose guard, it really varies. It's either, the smallest guy on the team that probably squats the most, or it's the biggest guy on the team that, squats the most. So it's really about getting in between those, really either taking 2 guys on or, going in between the edges.
Should have asked Coach Eggert. I'd be willing to bet that kid's a wrestler, too. Danny Kopler.
Oh!
Man.
Be interested to see where they get the spot. I think they're going to call it down just a little short and make that into 4th down. So wouldn't be surprised here with the Cats to go for it up 27 to under 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Coach O'Neill, when we were at the break at the half, were you able to get any scores or any action here across the North Suburban Conference?
I'm still looking. I'm trying to find anything, and nobody's. I can tell you St. Rita if you want, but I don't know that we're really interested in that.
We need to hear about the private schools. Let's worry about the NSC. Now, in terms of some of the top dogs left in the NSC, we have some good teams in front of us right now. But what are some of the other teams that are having great seasons and have
there's the
high
first down. Nice run.
Nice run by Quinn.
So, as Cam brought it up, as we look ahead to the conference over the past 2 weeks, coming through, I would say the number 1 team that would be the surprise would be Lake Forest. Went down the street to Carmel with a week 2 victory there, and then defeated Warren 38-7 in week 3 to kind of start.
Not just defeated Warren.
And Cam was talking over the past couple years, Warren has definitely been that program to chase at the top of the North Suburban Conference. Looks like we have an equipment timeout.
Get Coach Joe out there.
So that to answer your question, Cam, those would be the 2. I know the Cats have are tonight against Lake Forest, and then next week travel out to Mundelein, and then are back home for homecoming against Waukegan. We have the Thursday night football game against Zion Benton, and then we go to Lake Forest for week 8, and are at home against Warren to finish up for week 9. But really, all that makes no difference because we got one going on right now, and it's 3 minutes left. But that's looking ahead here as across the conference. We have a great football conference here in the North Suburban Conference, a great conference for a lot of our very competitive athletic conference across the board and everything as we get here for 1st and 10 for the Cats.
All right, so 3 receivers to the short side of the field. The give is to Strelo.
Keep on feeding him.
Yeah. And again, I mean, like Strelo and Dixon were splitting the carries before, but Dixon was clearly the number 1. And, you know, think about this 1-2 punch when he comes back healthy. When you have both of those guys,
It's gonna be a lot. It'll be a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a running game that you have to respect, plus all of those wide receiver weapons. Like, that's an impressive combination. Pass. Quinn is back. Touchdown, La Vista. Number 11, Peterson gambled and tried to cut in
Stop
front.
and go, was that?
And that looked like
yeah,
that
it looked
wasn't,
like a two
you know, it
moves.
was off that pump back there off the screen a little bit. It didn't look like Blaze was the first one. Quinn was able to clutch and then fire that rifle back to that front pylon there for Blaze for 6.
So Cats take advantage here. It took a couple possessions for them to get that score for starting in the second half. But here we go. Be interesting to see Lake Zurich's response here. They've had some adversity this season, starting out 1-3. Their only win against Waukegan, and an outmatched Waukegan. I'll be curious to see, like, do they come out with the same punch, with the same vim and vigor, or do they start hanging their heads? Fire,
Wallace
fire,
rolls out to
fire!
the right, balls back up, and he got it.
Oh, we got it! Just like you draw it up.
Let's see, we had whistles.
What we got here? Another false start?
Pateskis just wants to hold that ball up. He's not going to get too many chances to catch the ball in the end zone. They're looking to see if anybody illegal went downfield, I bet. What?
They call it in the grass, or that he was down before the ball came out. I don't know. That could seem to be.
What?
That's an interesting one. All right, so with 2:24 left here in the third quarter, score is 26-7 Cats. As we hear the band coming back in, I know, Coach Neal, you're getting that score posted up and ready to go. So, Cam, as you're coming back through, all right, if we were, you know, is there anything else? I know you're joining us here for the third quarter. Anything you were hoping we were going to ask you or anything like that as you were getting ready here for your broadcasting debut, Wildcat Productions?
You know, there could be a couple of questions here, like who's the best wide receiver between myself, Henry Schmidt, or Tim Calamari? I definitely had some questions on the fact, like, who is does Coach Christensen still do stock blocking drills like every single day, and does he reiterate that it makes good plays into great plays?
That's the Coach Albanism.
I think there was a lot of 80-yard touchdown runs that showed that like it wasn't
that
just
it was
that it was that, and I think that's the only way you guys put up with all that stuff is because it did, it actually maybe did work a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we really just talked about everything that I was looking forward to. Obviously it's really nice to see both of you. It's been almost 10 years since I've graduated high school. Having both of you guys as a teacher, one is a gym teacher in study hall, I'm pretty sure is teacher as my freshman year. Pretty funny. And one is my AP Euro history teacher, which was a great sophomore class. And, learned a lot, still bring a lot of European history facts to my friends.
Nice. I love it.
And they're always like, why do you know this? I'm like, well, AP Euro, trust me. That stuff.
Let's be honest here too, folks. Part of the reason I invited him is because he's an AP Euro alum. I won't even pretend it's otherwise.
I played football. I went to University of Illinois, and most importantly, I was also an AP Euro alum.
So there we go. That is number 13 on the return. And so the Bears get the ball back. Like I said, I'll be curious to see how they react here.
And Cam, as you were talking about that group with your senior year, like if you look across the board that entire fall, our girls volleyball team made it down to state.
That's right.
Our boys soccer team won state.
You
guys went to the state champion. I mean, the fall athletic season was crazy.
Insane.
Here. I mean, it just seemed like every weekend was just. I remember leaving from the game against Lincoln Way East and going down to the state final soccer game to be there for that one. And then I think I basically fell asleep in the car on the way home. Good thing I wasn't driving.
Yeah, I think it was in Hoffman Estates, I believe that game was against
And
Quincy.
It looks like we're going to have a hole and coming on back.
But yeah, just to show how athletic that class was. You know, if you think about the Stevenson the year prior, they won the football state title, and they also won the basketball state title with Jalen Brunson. But to think that we all did that in a singular sports season in fall just shows how in-depth our talent was on the soccer side, on the women's volleyball side, on the football side. And, you know, with a lot of these schools that are around our areas, the best...
Holding. Offense. 10-yard previous spot. Still first down.
The best athletes are playing, you know, one or maybe two sports, and that just showed the overall depth. One of my freshman year roommate was Tucker Gobler, who's one of the captains on that soccer team. And trust me, he showed me that ring a little too often, the one that I did not have, but it was all love from there.
All right, so that'll set the Bears up in a 1st and 20. And the give is underneath to Peroni. We've got is that a new quarterback coach? Is that number 12? Or is that still 17? Is that still Kenyon?
It still looks like it's Kenyon in number 17. Got a flag back there in the backfield. Let's see what we got here.
Waiting to get a call here.
We're taking the pause because with the ref microphone back on, Coach O'Neill, I gotta be prepared to move my head.
Right.
My headset off.
That should move by Cam here too, by the way, to pause when the ref was when the ref was talking. That was well done.
We're still waiting for the call here to see where it's going to be at.
So we've got we have a second here. We can go ahead and skiers and snowboarders, Snowcats, will have the first meeting of the year next year on Thursday, the 26th, before school at 8:20 in room 136.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense. Half the distance to goal, third down.
So things are still a little chippy there despite the score.
So, Coach O'Neill, as things are coming up, as Cam's going through, as we continue through that Hall of Fame class, Alex Snarski,
Correction, second down.
Standout swimmer for the class of 2014 is going into the LHS Athletic Hall of Fame this year. Alex was a 10-time All-State swimmer and 8-time All-American for the Wildcats, and the whole list of nice job there by the defense staying home
sniffing
on
out
the
that
screen.
screen. And that's something that Lake Zurich has long been good at. Really kind of when
Coach Mertens was there.
Luke
yes.
Mertens came over.
The double screen,
from
pump
Lakes.
it one way, throw it the other way. Always one that was definitely one you worked on quite a bit with Lake Zurich.
Yeah, and they've kept it in their offense. I mean, Luke's been gone for 7-8 years now, and they've just kept it in their offense. Although he's coaching at St. Pat's now. I don't know if you heard that.
I did, Coach O'Neill.
Yeah.
I did.
So a third and forever now for the Bears. There's 1 minute left in the quarter. Ball's just thrown up for grabs. Tommy Bunick is going to come down with that.
Nice job.
Yep.
Great job there again by Tommy Bunick staying over the top. We saw that earlier on, some great defensive plays there in the end zone when Lake Zurich had that chance to kind of, after that big kick return. Nice job there as we get the review here. Cats kind of drop back in the coverage. Good pressure coming around from the outside. The ball goes back up. Bunick stays on top of it. Wonderful job there of going up with the ball skills and coming down with that. Cam, like you just said, at that point basically kind of turned into a little bit of a punt for the Bears. So now it's 26-7, just under a minute left here in the third quarter. Cats offense will take back to the field. And here we go as they get out ready to rock and roll here. We'll see if the Cats keep that ground game going. You know, the big guys up front really kind of set that up, capitalized there by that Shambo to La Vista touchdown pass in the last drive. But really did a nice job with the rush coming back in.
Yep.
Looks like a little confusion here from the Cats. Get somebody back out on the field. Here we go.
That is Carson Holmes coming back on the field. Carson, Bateski, Frazen.
He was just as shocked that there was an interception on that.
Dead ball. Play game. Offense. 5 yard. Still first
back is
down.
up 5 yards. One of those pre-snap penalties.
All right, so here we go. It'll be 1st and 15 here now for the Cats as they move that back across. And I know you guys, I'm surprised you guys haven't had any of the Illini football going through. Like, I don't even know, like, is there any, excitement down in Champaign this year? There's the pitch to Sam Seth on the sweep.
Oh, nice block there by, they're going to call him for a block in the back, I think.
Well, in Champaign, we have our expectations for basketball. We are a basketball school through and through, and you really saw that in the March Madness run this past year. And, you can go back from 2005, 1989. These are all Final Four caliber teams. but we do believe in Brett Bielema. You see exactly what he did at Wisconsin, and you can see that he's
During
trying
the
to
run, block in the back, offense, 10-yard previous spot, first down.
And he's trying to do the same thing. He's, getting these 3-star, 4-star guys, and he's actually recruiting a lot in state.
Finally.
Finally. We did not see that with the not so welcome back Coach Beckman. And, even Zook was mostly looking at the DC area.
Yeah.
DC era with Aurelius Ben. But he did have Rashard Mendenhall from Niles North. Go Vikings. But, he's really just seeing it as, a disciplined team. We're going to, establish the run. And, we're seeing success. We've made the bowl games. We've had some NFL talent come through with Devon Witherspoon getting drafted number 5 overall for the Seattle Seahawks. And
I feel like I just put the ball on the tee on that
I
one.
know,
Like,
seriously.
that wasn't even like soft toss. I think that one just was like placed up, ready to go.
Did you have this scripted? Did you write this out?
As much as I love my Libertyville high school football, it might be just above it is the Illinois Athletics for both basketball and football.
Excellent. As we wrap up the third quarter here, Cam, I want to thank you for coming out. It was a pleasure to have you in the booth. Thank you for coming back and hanging out this whole time. It was awesome.
Awesome to see you.
Nice
Awesome.
to see
Thanks,
you guys.
Cam.
You guys have a great rest of your game.
Thank you.
All right. Coach O'Neill.
So, Coach, we get here at 1 sec. We're going to say goodbyes here. Give us a sec.
All right, so as we pop
All right,
back
I know that might not have been the most professional to just go off air for a second there, but both wanted to say goodbye to Cam.
So, Coach O'Neill, as we keep through, we have three more members, of the LHS Athletics Hall of Fame class we wanted to give a quick shout-out to as they will be recognized their last home game. The next person is Lucas McKnight. Lucas was the class of 1998, a two-time All-State selection in baseball, 4-year starting catcher, two-time All-State, and was the Illinois Gatorade Player of the Year his senior year. In addition to his baseball prowess, he was a 3-year starting point guard for the basketball team and was the Newsom Award winner in his class.
Oh, well defended there, 11 on 11. Nice defense there. Ball was intended for Gavrick. Good ball from Chambeau. We'll keep it a third and about 14 right now after the Cats had a big completion to Williams to get him out of the hole, that penalty.
And then Coach O'Neill, too, as the ball's coming back in here to get set, we also want to recognize Keith Hansen, class of 1969. He was also the Newsom Award winner in his year. He was a versatile and dedicated competitor, excelled in football, basketball, track, and baseball, all conference, all county, in addition to a bunch of other accolades as well. So Keith Hansen will be joining our Hall of Fame class.
Chambeau sets up a screen to Strelo. There's lots of room, and he's going to get the first down and does a little tumble routine, and you literally just see the ground strewn with bears down on the field from getting blocked by our line getting down there, or Strelo just trucking them. That was a good-looking play right there. And Coach Ori, Coach Shack, they don't pull out the screens that often, but that was a well-timed screen.
It was, Coach O'Neill, and it kind of feels like as there's a little snap, a little handoff back there to Strelo, he'll get forward for about a yard or two. It does kind of feel like a little bit kind of like if we were to give like a Marvel movie quote with like Thanos, like I am inevitable. Like this seems like the Cats offense finds some spots where it's inevitable as it goes through. And I know that's always a fun spot to be at. I know there's things tonight coming out of this that the coaching staff will want to get cleaned up and get ready to go. And there's always those things. But it's been fun to watch, and it's been fun to see the Cats do it in different ways maybe than what we saw in week 1.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The swing out passes to Strelo. That screen right there, and he's carrying the ball more than we've seen him do in the past. It's just on cue. Here he goes again. Nice little one cut in the middle. Gets back moving downhill, and he's going to pick up another 6, setting up a third and about 2.
All right, so as this third down comes on up here, again, this is taking the toll. Bears defense has been out in the field a lot here in the second half.
Yeah.
The Cats have possessed the ball. A good chunk of it here as they've been working their way down, kind of the exact opposite. It's going to be the clock is not going to be Lake Zurich's friend here. It's coming down, and it looks like we got a flag coming in. Might be a hold. That's the area of hold, and that's the signal that we've got.
Yep.
So that'll back that back up to a third and 13, third and 12.
Did you welcome the 5th, 6th grade team of Wildcat Youth Sports Organization, Coach?
I have not, Coach
Oh,
O'Neill.
how about that? So they are here to cheer on the
Holding.
Wildcats tonight.
Offense.
It's an exciting year for the girls.
Spot, still 3rd down.
It's an exciting year for the girls. As this is the first year for both LHS and LWYC girls flag football. So they're here to cheer on the Cats. I bet they were here for the game earlier as well.
Yeah, that's right.
flag
If you're,
football
if
game.
you're joining us late tonight, we kicked off our coverage with a doubleheader. We had the LHS girls flag football team in overtime defeating the Loyola Ramblers 8-6 here at the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex on senior night for our flag football program as well. And
That
so
goes
that pass
incomplete.
falls incomplete.
So it'll bring up a 4th down for the Cats here. Ball intended for La Vista. See, there's a little thing too, Coach. I know that it doesn't show up in the stat line. Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to say it at all. Strelo ran down from his position, which was right around the line of scrimmage, and ran down to help his buddy up. And it's just one of those little things that these teams, that good teams with good teammates do together.
And with about 10 minutes left here, like I said, it kind of feels like this is the time. If Lake Zurich's got a move left to make, that this is the time for that move. With because like we said before, clock's not a friend. Chasing 3 scores at least here.
Sit, baby! No, just not enough.
So as Lake Zurich comes back on the field, Coach O'Neill, what have we seen from the Bears here so far tonight? What do you expect to kind of come out if you put yourself in that offense coordinator shoes for Lake Zurich?
I mean, they've had a couple strikes downfield, but we know that's not their comfort zone. Their comfort zone is running that ball, giving that ball to Peroni, giving that ball, to their couple other running backs, but they don't have time. They'd really love to get Piggott the ball more, but we have just been smothering him defensively.
And that's where Coach O'Neill, I think the one thing that maybe haven't talked enough about tonight has been the play of this defense.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you look across with, the board with our linebacking crew with Waldorf and Trudelar and Basic and Doty and Rohrbach and then through the defensive backfield, like up front and the defensive line, like Cats defense all around, trying to get some numbers for those guys who maybe we haven't called as much tonight as we probably should have done a great job of containing this Lake Zurich attack. And really like we saw in like Lamont game about where the Cats were able to take Lamont out of, like with their number one run play, what they want to do. Same thing here with the Cats tonight. It's been a really impressive showing by the Cats defense.
Yeah, been looking really good. You see Jack Trudelar in there, Aiden Lewandowski on the line, getting some time in there. Big RVB on the line right now. So we see the Cats with 2 over Piggott here. Oh, just out of reach of the intended receiver. That was Tommy Bunick on the coverage. But I want to once again give a shout out to Newby, to Aiden Newby. He has been bearing a lot of the load of covering Piggott. Right now he's getting a little help from Rohrbach underneath. But Newby has had hands on him and has been doing the job. And that's impressive for a new varsity starter to get their number 1 and just be able to neutralize him.
It is, and while Lake Zurich has connected with plays, and they've definitely had their opportunities as well, the Cats' defense has really been kind of a little bit of bend, roll, break. They'll give up the 30, 40 yards, but then they really start to hunker back down. It's been really impressive defensive performance tonight.
Late blitz by Basic, and that might be picked off again. Wildcat defender had to be coming off. And now look at that. Basic came in on the blitz, caused the pressure, and got back to the ball to pick it up there. I mean, he is just a beast on this field.
And Lake Zurich electing to punt here with 9 minutes, 17 seconds left. They'll get the ball back out. Obviously, turning the ball over to the Cats in this field position.
Right.
Not necessarily always you're probably looking at points going on the board. Yeah, going for the Cats.
Matthew Liu, by the way, is filling in for Mason Strader. And obviously, you haven't seen a big completion go. So whenever you get a new secondary guy in there, you always get a little nervous. But he's been doing the job. Cats are staying, looking for fake punt. Punt goes way high. Sammy's going to misread that a little bit. It just kind of carried on him and then just let it go, get away from that ball. Obviously, somebody mentioned that to him after the last one. Or sorry, that's not Sammy. That was Newby. So they kept their defense out there to watch for the fake, and he probably doesn't get a lot of practice catching kicks.
Yeah, and that's one of the things there, too, Coach O'Neill, that, like, one of the strengths too from this Lake Zurich team, the kicking game has been very impressive tonight.
Yeah.
With the leg we've seen from there, with the punts, great hang time from there. Both teams it has been, so it's been one of those that some of the things that go unnoticed maybe in a high school football game until they're noticed.
Right.
Just give a shout out to all the specialists across both teams.
Hey, would you rather do math than run a 5K on the bike path? Then the math team is good for you. Mr. Brenner always brings out the poet in everybody. Math team does Tuesdays after school in room 235. Hey, you know who else does Tuesdays after school, Coach?
Who does?
Wildcat Historical Association.
There you go, Coach O'Neill. Yeah, no, big shout out to Coach Brenner, Mrs. Davis, and the rest of the math team. They were working the concession stand tonight. I think it just closed down here as we got to the start of the fourth quarter. So if my kiddos are at home with their grandparents still watching the game, I just wanted to wish them good night, and we'll see you when we get home.
So Cats here, there's 10 left on the play clock. Cats in no hurry, obviously, 2nd and 8. Shambo takes a snap, fakes to Strelo. He's got lots of time. Bears are only rushing 3. Coverage is there, though. Shambo's scrambling. He's going to go ahead and run. He's going to get out to first down and more, and he keeps going and crosses the 50.
It looks like we got a flag down. Be interested to see what that one comes in at as.
I didn't see it. Where'd it go down? Oh, I see it. They're right at about the other 45, 50. Was there a Wildcat there to hold?
Not quite sure, Coach O'Neill, as that came through. Want to give a big shout out on senior night to our dance team and our cheer team. They've been doing a great job this whole game, keeping everybody here in the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex going on, and they're part of that halftime entertainment as well with our fantastic marching band.
The cheer squad, we've got, sorry. Are we getting a call here?
Personal foul, blindside block on the offense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul, replay 2nd down.
So that happens when a quarterback scramble. A lot of time wide receivers coming back. You just got to be smart and know where
and
you
that's
are.
one of the things, from a few years ago, Coach O'Neill was a point of emphasis that from the NFHS is that block from an outside coming in position, kind of like that crackback block. It's something that the officials definitely are much more mindful of and have been instructed to be on the lookout for as the game continues to be safer and safer.
So Cats are 2nd and 10 now. The fake to Strelo. The pass out to Gavrick is going to get him close to a first down. Real quick, want to read off our cheerleaders here. I asked Gavin Sienna to ask Coach Vance to send me the roster so we could read the cheerleaders because we haven't been able to do that. So we got Victoria Diaz Martins de Costa, Mel Carroll, Francesca Crevetti, Julia DeVoe, Grayson Derma, Maggie Fabsick, Devin Gordon, Autumn Grinter, Max Holland, Adler Litton, Jordan Murphy, Caitlin Rojas, Taylor Salesman, Gavin Sienna, Peyton Soling, Kate Tweet, Olivia Van Hersley, Avery Wells, Parker Lester, Scarlett Meyer, and Morgan Short. I got them all in one play, Coach.
There you go, Coach O'Neill.
The pitch out to Brock Williams.
And I'll pick up the first down there.
That's a good group of cheerleaders there. Those are good kids, very thoughtful kids. I get to walk past their practice every day as I'm walking out of the field house, or at least I guess I used to. And just such a nice group of kids.
We also want to give a shout out to Coach Dugan. I know the coming up here at our last home game will be Junior Palms night. I know we had Coach Dugan on join the broadcast in week 1, giving the shout out there, so you could find that registration for the Junior Palms Clinic for our last home game against Warren that we had talked about when Cam was on the call in the 3rd quarter.
1st and 10, the give to Strelo, and he's going to go ahead, boom, and he's going to pick up a big 12 yards, 13 yards. I mean, the O-line is just pushing Lake Zurich around at this point.
It is, Coach O'Neill, and that's one of the things that's very encouraging here for the Cats. The guys up front doing a great job. They have all night. Quinn's had plenty of time. There's been maybe once or twice with Parchment, nothing really to speak of. He's had a lot of time to be able to go around and find those receivers downfield, and they've been establishing their dominance with the run game. So big shout out to the guys up front.
Shambo, the give again to Strelo. He just tucks himself right in behind RVB, and he keeps pounding forward. Shambo looking over at the sideline.
So here we go with about 6 minutes here left in the game. You can kind of feel like, Coach O'Neill, like the crowd is kind of thinned out a little bit here from on the Lake Zurich side as well. Like we said, Like, so we're looking forward. It's 26-7 Cats. Cats are marching back down into it. So as we kind of look around, we're trying to find some scores for you, keep you updated around the conference. Heard that Illini game from some folks is a close one in. I didn't know they were playing on Friday night. That's one of the things the Big Ten threw is Steve Gavrick with the big play downfield. Nice job with the run after catch.
What a great route and pass by Shambo. So the route by Gav, he ran his receiver off, stopped on a dime, came back to the ball. Quinn threw the ball before his break. And then Gavrick, a nice run after the catch. That was just pretty. That was nice footballing, Coach.
Shambo here back to pass. He scrambles back out, rolling here to his right. And as he gets out of bounds, he'll just throw it away as he breaks through from the pocket. Very incomplete. That'll bring up second down.
So next week is Mundelein, correct, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Next week is Mundelein. Just heard a report. Mundelein freshman beat Stevenson freshman this last week.
There you go.
So that's always exciting. When Mundelein's good, that's good for the conference.
Yep, and I know it's the short road trip. That's always a good one, too.
Yep.
Although with all the construction going on 176 right now, I'm not sure how short that is. But because I know we've got it out front of here by Brainerd with some resurfacing projects. Seems like it's the summer of resurfacing in Libertyville.
Right,
this year.
everywhere. Strelo pounds ahead on that second down. It's going to get just a yard short, so it'll be third and 1. Got to make sure we give a shout out to Wildcat Productions here too. We'll make sure we have time to get them in a second here. So they are the ones doing the real work. Give to Strelo. Would love to see Strelo get a touchdown. I feel like he keeps getting us to the promised land, and then the wide receivers get to carry it in.
And you know, Coach Neal, you're getting ready to give the shout out. Big shout out to them too, because like I said, we had a double feature tonight. Super excited to be able to broadcast both games here in the varsity games here in the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex. So big shout out to the folks. Coach O'Neill's got fired up here on his list, ready to go.
Yeah, and I also too, I just want to point out to that, Coach Davis, like those kids are here, they're volunteering. Like this is their club, this is their extracurricular they're doing, and they've been here since 4:30, getting this all ready and doing 2 games. So they've just been fantastic.
And it looks like Lake Zurich's going to help us out with a timeout to be able to get through and recognize everybody on the production
So this
tonight.
is, I'm just reading through everybody on here because people take turns directing. Our directors for the flag football game was Ethan. Felix did the first half of this one, and then Breyer's doing the second half here. Our crew is Luke, Aiden, Ethan, Emmett Bongo, Brooke Weintraub, Drek Griffiths, Cecilia, Matthias, Evan, Henry, Jack, Eleanor, and there they are in that booth. And guys, don't worry, it's not at all hot in there either for you fans at home. It's only probably about 110 in that booth tonight because it's, really cooled down. Breyer, Caroline, Mark, Ryder, Callie, Connor, Jax, Karen, Felix, Eleanor, Michelle, Jack, Garrett, and then, of course, Dan Treptow and Jack Holland, who are leading this for us. Again, I think it's real easy. People forget that this is a high school production. You see all these shots that you see on Saturday and on Sundays in college and NFLs, college and NFL games. And you forget that these are high schoolers who are doing this. Shambo with trip spread way out to give to Strelo.
And that's the thing, too, here to Coach O'Neill, too, is that the clock is tick, tick, tick.
Yep.
Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, I didn't really like that timeout by Lake Zurich. I'm glad I got to read everybody from Wildcat Productions, but I would just as soon let this keep going.
Yep, and I think, too, like the one thing that's been the encouraging part here for the Cats, we talked about obviously the Cats with the high-flying passing attack. We saw that on display tonight as well, but the running game, the big push from the guys up front has been really encouraging tonight. And the defense just been rock solid all year so far. The most points given up has been 15. And, at home here, we've only given up 1 score. That was the one earlier tonight with Lake Zurich. Defense has played really well. So hats off to Coach Budge and the defense as well.
Looks like they're trying to get Strelo a score here. Annie, if you're still watching the game, you need to go to bed, by the way, okay? Or else you are going to be a puddle tomorrow. So it sets up a third. Cats can still get a first down here. A little flogging Molly. Love this. Come on, Strelo, get it. Oh, he's going to denied.
Looks, we might get the first, though, based on the spot. Let's see.
No, looks like he's still back. No, he's saying 4th down.
Yep.
So, I mean, Cats are going to go for it, obviously. They're not going to kick a field goal here. Wouldn't be surprised at all if we see, oh, they are kicking the field goal. All right, get Ratner a little practice for the field goal.
All right, so as the Cats come back on here for field goal, we'll be kicking from the north to the south, there to the south end of the end zone.
I kind of wanted to see the Viking package back again, Coach. If we're not going to give it to Strelo to score, but I like Ben. We'll have Ben kick this one in. This will be good. He doesn't get as many opportunities with this offense to kick field goals.
Snap,
Hold.
there's hold, and the kick is up and good.
It is good.
So that'll make it 29-7 Cats with 2 minutes and 52 seconds left. And we're looking at to the point here where we can maybe talk a little bit about next week, Coach O'Neill.
Yeah, I think so. You know, like you said, the short road trip, that is key. You know, when you're going out to Zion, even when you're going out to Warren, like, that it's harder to do. This one doesn't have the same feel of a road trip because you're practically not even settled in on the bus before you're there. I do, though, sorry, go ahead,
No,
Coach.
go ahead, Coach O'Neill.
Every time we play Mundelein, though, especially at Mundelein, when we're having a good year, you know what I'm thinking.
You got it, Coach O'Neill, and that's where like it'll be a key thing here for the Cats too, to keep the momentum going.
Yep.
And to be able to continue on. Obviously, like we talked about, there's definitely stuff I know the coaching staff will want to work on of getting cleaned up to continue on that quest of the improvement throughout the course of the season. And that'll be something too that as we move forward through the year, just keeping it one at a time and keeping the focus on the next one and keeping the focus on the present moment, I know will be a big thing.
What year was that, Coach? What year was that we lost to Mundelein?
2022.
22? No. I'm going back further than
2005.
So it was the Cats were 4-4 going into the last game of the season.
Was it two?
No, it was later than that because it was Kennedy.
6, 7,
7 maybe.
Right around there.
Cats were 4-4 going into the last game of Mundelein. All they needed to do was
first
win.
round of the playoffs in 2005. 4th and 6 past Brett Lancaster to Carson Swan to keep that game going and to go down and score for a one-score game.
Kickoff is up. It's received at about the 12-yard line. Gets to the sideline and gets forced. Oh, does not force out. Cuts it back in. Cats another nice tackle there way downfield. That looked like number 3, Wisenhand.
Jacob Wisenhand, yes.
So the point is, whatever year we're talking about, Mundelein, the biggest game of the year is beating Libertyville. If they can beat Libertyville, that is a huge win on their schedule, and so we just have to make sure we don't fall asleep. You don't sleep on Mundelein.
And you know the Mustangs started out the year 3-0. You know, obviously we've been trying to get you some results tonight across the North Suburban Conference. Like Cam said, there's a lot of great football. There always is that gets played in our conference, and you know that's where for them it's we're working towards getting to that 5th win to get, because we start looking to playoff time. As we start getting to week 5, we'll have teams that'll start getting into becoming playoff eligible.
The give up the middle is going to pick up 10 yards here.
Let's see, number 31 for the Cats there. That's Ryan Faze with the tackle.
Some new guys getting in here. Bryce Bazagil getting in. I had Bryce in class last year. Good to see him getting in here. Win Wyzakovich, his younger brother's on the freshman team. Win getting in. Love to see that. Tyler Creel. The give is underneath once again. Lots of running room.
And there's that delayed handoff again. Coach O'Neill kind of off of some of that play action look. It's been probably the most successful run play tonight for the Bears, has been kind of that delayed action, kind of little counter style play.
Yeah. Nick Farmakis jumping in at corner over here. Looks like we have Holden Caudillo on the line as well. We have 53, who's not on my roster, Coach. But he's doing a heck of a job, let me tell you. Jack Gimbert back in as well. He was getting some time earlier in the game. So 1st and 10 to give, the fake. Oh, and he's going to be, just not brought down. I had hands on him.
Ooh,
nice tackle.
And there's the blindside block going the other way.
Number 53, that is our guy who we don't have a number for, had hands on him on the blitz. And then a nice tackle there by, I believe that was Faez. And the quarterback is down. He kind of got tackled awkwardly down at the legs. But I agree. I think the flag is the one. What is the call? What is the actual call?
It'd be the blindside blocker.
Blindside.
Yes. Yep.
I didn't know if that's just what we called it or if that was
Nope,
what
that
the
is the
actual
technical.
call.
It is where so you'll get a legal block in the back.
Yep.
But the blindside block has more to do with the angle.
Yeah.
Where it's from the outside in. That's where it's really where they're coming through, or the defenseless defender who's not looking is where you'll get the blindside block, not a block in the back necessarily.
There's a great end zone shot from the Cats there, set up in the Wildcat building on the north end zone. As you're looking out, look there at the defense. That's Coach Budge talking to his guys. Jake Wisenhand back in still there. 88 is Logan Tafel. Looks like we got number 9, Lucas Murphy. So getting some guys in, getting some actual playing time here, which you love to see. Hate to see a guy injured at the end of a game here.
Yep. And that's one of the things too, Coach Neal, as you're saying, like this playing time to get everybody a chance to get that playing time in and get that experience back on the field with those game reps, super important. And that is Cole, who's coming back off. Nice to see him getting back off the field. Played a good game tonight. Being a good competitor here tonight for the Lake Zurich Bears.
And he never let down. There's no doubt. I mean, he was going.
Nope.
The Cats, like you said earlier, the Cats defense just really poured it on him.
And that's where, I know Coach O'Neill, like coming into the game, that Lake Zurich record of being 1-2 might be a little deceiving. Like, you look at Lake Zurich's non-conference schedule with GBS and Fremd.
Right.
Both those teams this year are off to great starts. And, working back here with this Cats team too is
during the run, personal foul, blindside block on the offense. 15 yards from the end of the run, still first down.
Who, this Cats team too here, who's a minute 40 away from being 4-0 themselves. That's, nothing to shake your finger at, like here at the beginning with, or, with the strength of schedule there for the Bears.
Cats bringing blitz now with some of the subs in. It looks like he's going to get away. That was probably a hold. Oh, nice hustle.
Tackle.
Nice hustle to save a tackle there.
That's number 8. That is Connor Crane with the tackle.
Nice job, Connor Crane. Good hustle, chasing that down from behind.
I know folks in the stand wanted a little bit of a hold right there that we maybe saw.
Right there.
But nice job there from Connor of coming back through and being able to get the Bears stopped down here short of the end zone.
So time is running down here as we approach 1 minute. The new Bears quarterback is number 15, Reed Pfeiffer.
Coach Neal, I see you can pull up there. The Bears recognizing some other Bears that were here tonight that we talked to earlier.
So Jack Sanborn and the entire linebacker room was at the game. They were down in the north end zone on the Lake Zurich side. Of course, Sanborn played for
dead ball,
these
encroachment,
Bears.
Defense, half the distance, still first down.
They look like some pretty big bad mamma jambas there, Coach. Like that is. That's cool. The Lake Zurich Athletics thanked them for being there and signing autographs and interacting with the fans, and that's pretty cool when you get to have especially local hometown guys who are playing in the league come on back and visit.
Yep, and that's what Cam was talking about. Like every year in our conference, we've got a lot of guys that go on to play football at at the next level. It's fun to watch all of them, whether it's through Division III to Division I, all the way through. As that handoff takes it through, that is Alex Peroni, which is the score for the Bears. But that's, every year in our conference, there's definitely people that go on. It's fun to watch, fun to keep track of, especially watching football all across on Saturdays. Even our CAT alums who are getting ready to go play tomorrow. I know we've got a lot of them who are getting suited up, ready to go. So big shout out to them if they're watching the broadcast tonight before getting some Z's to get some sleep to get ready to rock and roll for their games tomorrow.
Yeah, always fun to see that. Love to see the updates of people. And, our coaches do such a good job of helping those kids who want to continue their football career, even if they're not top-end D1 guys, finding the right home for these guys to go play at. And I think that's something special about the way our program does that.
And there you get a little video replay there of the Lake Zurich touchdown. They're able to punch it in there from the 3-yard line. So with 39 seconds left, it's 29-14 Cats. So Coach O'Neill, next time we're together, it is homecoming. It's
going to be homecoming
here for the Cats. So we're going to have a little varsity soccer action. Prior tonight, we had flag football. And on homecoming, we do our varsity soccer game prior. So Coach Thunholm and the Cats will be taking on the Highland Park Giants as the game that is on the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex for the varsity tackle game that night as the Wildcats host the Waukegan Bulldogs. And so as part of homecoming, we also recognize, as we mentioned earlier, our LHS Athletics Hall of Fame class. We also have a Lake County Hall of Fame induction coming from Libertyville that we'll talk about as well too. So we got some more stuff going on. So if you were back in the area, we've got the parade going on Saturday, homecoming dance. So it's a big weekend here at LHS.
Freshman football Saturday morning, Coach, at Brainerd.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's
yes.
enough excitement.
Yep, you got it.
Enough excitement going around.
You guys are actually in the stadium too. So.
Oh, we are. I thought
Yep.
we were at Brainerd. Did
No,
we
sir.
get moved?
Nope, stadium.
Oh, how about that?
Yep.
So Cats have their hands team on here. See a lot of guys who are on the field a lot. You've got Gavrick, you've got Basic, Sammy Seth is on there.
It's a good look there of Coach Christensen getting everybody lined up, ready to go for that hands team.
Mason Strader back on the field, which is really good to see. He came off. I was worried he might have gotten dinged up, but he is back on the field for this kickoff. We've got one Cat back. I can't see the number, Coach.
That
Oh,
looks
it's
like
LaVista.
It's for,
Yeah,
yep, Blaze LaVista.
LaVista. I'd be a little surprised if the Bears onside here, but not terribly, I suppose.
Looks like it's going to be out the back
Yeah.
of the end zone.
I mean, you have to be prepared for it if you're
Yep,
the Cats, but
exactly.
I feel
Yep.
like the way they've been running this game, that wasn't, they didn't want to do that.
All right, Coach Neal, so the next time we see the Cats, we'll have 1 week off, and then we're like back-to-back games there for a Wildcat. Short turnaround, too, on with the Thursday night game. And then, so, Coach Neal, what's one thing you're looking for as we come back next time we see the Cats?
Well, I want to see them next week against Mundelein not pull their foot off the pedal. Like, keep it down. Every game's going to be hard. Mundelein's going to be up for that game. You can't look past them. I'd like to see us stop some of these pre-snap penalties that we had, clean that up a little bit, get back to that discipline that we've seen the last couple weeks, and continue to improve on that run game. Because everybody knows they have to prepare for our pass attack, as we see Kazi Ali get in there. Everybody has to prepare for our pass attack. There's Langfeld and Lewandowski. But if we can keep that run game getting strong, that's what I'd really love to see.
Yep, and so there we get a handshake see-through as they come through. A lot of respect amongst the competitors there for both schools tonight. I know there's a lot of respect from everybody from each school. So hats off to the Bears on a good competition tonight. Great game. I know they still have, like we talked about theirs, they've got a lot to look forward to still in the season, still have a lot to play for as well. So it was a great high school football game tonight. We kicked it off with a great flag football game tonight, which was awesome too. And I know from being down on the field at halftime, a lot of people were really excited to get to see that flag game too.
That's cool.
And comment about that as well.
Want to give a quick shout out to the statisticians, Madison Sears and Addison Krapinski. They're down there volunteering their time, and they do a great job to help the Cats coaching staff out. So, on behalf of everybody at Wildcat Productions, who just did a fantastic job tonight, and Coach Davis, thanks to our special guest, Cam Schaefer, I'm Kevin O'Neill. We will see you back here in 2 weeks. See you back here in 2 weeks. Thank you, Coach Davis. And hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Go Cats!